Chris Gillette from the Gator Boys. All kinds of stuff going on. Loves UFOs. Knows Bob Lazar, and that has made my day.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I don't know him. You got to introduce me, but
I mean, you know of him.
Yeah.
So before we started, we were talking about the correlation between animals and UFOs and that possibility. Can you explain that again? Because I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so I love the whole UFO thing and everything about it. And one of the ways that I look at it is because I work as a biologist, I think of aliens as if they're biologists and they're watching us. And so one of the ways that I think about it is like, well, because you'll hear, I can't remember his name either. We're just talking about Michikaku.
Yeah, I can never say his name.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name. But, or Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's also one who says like, oh, well, why would they be interested in us? I don't know. Why do you have biologists studying ants? We study everything. We want to learn about everything. And from somebody who's an educator, you should understand. You should study everything. It doesn't matter how advanced you are or how primitive they are. You want to study it. So when we're studying animals, we try not to be seen. And then every once in a while, sometimes you do show yourself to see how they react. And that's kind of what makes me think of the UFOs, where like they have the ability to never be perceived, or maybe they want you to see them sometimes. You're like, what's he going to do? Let's watch.
Just like we do, right?
Yeah, just like we do,
And there's such a correlation between that and animals. Like when you really think about it, just life in general. It's really insane. I read this study with rats. They put like 10 rats in a cage, and they gave them everything they wanted. Within 1 month, they all killed each other because they never like progressed. Like they had everything they wanted.
Right.
So they couldn't argue. They couldn't try to fuck the other rat, not the other one. They had everything they wanted, and within 1 month, every one of them killed themselves.
Well, I mean, that's not to get I'm not political, but political right off the bat, not politics exactly, but society right now is, we create our own problems because we don't have problems to keep us busy with. We evolved the problem-solving animals, and we remove all the problems through modern convenience, and what do? We create our own problems to cause issues. You go home and your girlfriend fights you, and you're like, why are you mad at me? I didn't do anything. I don't know. Like, you just have this conflict in you that you want to get out,
Yeah, like you have to have the conflict, and that's what the study was, and it was funny. In 1 month, they all killed themselves.
Yeah.
Because there was no conflict, there was nothing to fight for, there was nothing to try to advance for.
And that's us right now, making up random crap to fight with each other about. Like, it's insane.
Every day is something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where were you born in Florida?
I'm from Palm Bay.
Palm Bay?
Yeah, so Brevard County, Central Florida.
Were you always into wildlife, animals, stuff like that, or?
Yeah. So I grew up kind of like there were no other kids around really, and and my parents, I love my parents, of course, but they, we've lived below the poverty line. We were pretty poor. So basically, I didn't have very many friends. There weren't very many kids on my street, and how are you going to go to someone else's house? Like if I couldn't ride my bike there, I wasn't going there. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So I didn't have a lot of friends. So my friends were the animals, literally. I would spend all day out in the woods, catching snakes and lizards and turtles and frogs and all this kind of stuff. And I got bigger. The things I could play with got bigger.
Yeah. So they kind of became your friends.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I would do. That's all there was to do. We didn't have cable, like we had a TV with rabbit ears, like, so we didn't have cable, we didn't have internet, there isn't a computer, we didn't have anything. So I would just go out and just, catch snakes all day and build forts in the woods and like that kind of stuff.
And then you went to college, right?
Yeah.
And then you got, what was that certification you got?
Well, so I have a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Studies with a certificate in Biodiversity and Conservation.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? What does that actually mean in like simple terms?
So I did some of my favorite courses I did in college is what led to that certification. So talking about a lot of like environmental regulation and law and like understanding the Endangered Species Act and how important regulation is for protecting wildlife. Even though that's not something I currently work in, I really do value that, and understand the value behind it, because we can make all the noise we want, but until something's put into law, it's not really helping. You know what I mean?
And I don't understand why I guess the government or somebody doesn't look at it more, because everything's a chain, right?
Right.
So like
everything's connected.
Everything's connected.
Yeah.
So when you lose one, you could kill the whole species.
Right. So this might be news to people, but humans are only interested in themselves. And I'm trying to put it in a nice way.
Motherfuckers, pretty much.
We are super egotistical, narcissistic, self-absorbed, horrible creatures that go for our own personal gain and the gain of our immediate family, which we've evolved to want to do. It totally makes sense for us to do so at the expense of our species in the long term. We don't think long term. We think, I'm going to make a ton of money by selling off this piece of land. A bunch of animals? Who cares? I'm going to make millions of dollars. Yeah. And enough people do that enough times, and eventually the whole species is dying because of it.
And then the whole cycle repeats itself.
I had this exact discussion in my 5-hour trip back from Tampa today. Terrible traffic. You see all the people moving to Florida. Great. Good for the economy. All that great stuff. But, like, they just keep clearing land, especially in this area, right? Yeah. Out west, especially. They're building more out west, right? And then you got the people that live in these communities who goes, there was a bobcat in the neighborhood. I can't believe this. Well, where the fuck was the bobcat supposed to go when it got pushed? Out of all those acres they just took.
Yep.
Where's it supposed to go?
Yeah.
It's going to come in your backyard. That's where it's coming.
It makes me crazy. You know, we expect everything else to just die if it inconveniences us. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, there's an alligator in my pool. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't live where the Everglades are. Like, you know, don't build your house where they're supposed to be, you know. But, yeah, we just push them out and we kill everything. And it's a minor inconvenience or annoyance. Kill them all. Yeah, that's how people think, sadly.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because they're not thinking long term. They're thinking for today.
Right.
But what if they have kids and their kids and their kids? I mean,
well, so along those lines, yeah. Well, along those lines, one of the ones that gets me a lot too is you get a lot of I mean, I don't consider myself like a country boy, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I'm a woodsman. I'm an explorer. You know, I go out and camp in the Amazon. You know, I do all this fun stuff. But you see, there's like this vein of this outdoorsman where they're like, well, I love the outdoors, but as soon as the outdoors threatens me in any way, I have to shoot it, you know. And I see this a lot with the alligators. People are like, well, you know, I moved out in the middle of nowhere and then a gator grabbed my dog, so I shot the alligators. Like, you moved out in the middle of nowhere. You brought your dog out there. You need to learn to live in the outdoors if you want to live in the outdoors. If you can't handle that, go back to the city, you know. And that's when I get really heated about, where you get like, I mean, I'm a redneck, I'll say. You know, you get the rednecks that are like, oh, they want to kill every cool animal because I bit my dog. You know, rattlesnake's going to bite my dog. Then don't live where the rattlesnakes are. If you can't handle it, go back in the city, you know?
An example, I was a little bit different because you're like way bigger, you know, but I've dated a few girls and, you know, they got like a dog that was abused and then it didn't do what they wanted it to do. It bit people or whatever, and they wanted to put it to sleep. So then I would come along and they would be like, it's going to bite you. But I've had dogs all my life. You just go up slow to it. Yeah. And I was used to getting beat. Just take your time with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And never got bit.
Yeah.
By any of them. But, you know, people just want to, oh, it's annoying me. You know, I bit my foot. Let's kill it.
Yeah. It's horrible, man. That's just the answer people always have.
So now you start primarily with wildlife, right? And like reptiles and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Mainly, so the main animals of focus for me have been a lot of like sharks, alligators, crocodiles, snakes, that kind of thing. But I've worked all kinds of stuff. I mean, turtles. I love turtles, tortoises. Oh, awesome. I was a penguin keeper, actually. Oh, wow. You know, we were just talking about, I did penguin keeping for a little bit. I've worked with orangutans a little bit. I've worked at a lot of different places, different kinds of animals. So, I mean, I love all kinds of wildlife, really.
What's that like having a penguin?
So I worked with this flock of South African penguins, and this is...
Where at?
At Jungle Island in Miami Beach. Yeah, so
things are so cool.
It was so cool, and man, I was young and dumb, and and you know, I mean, I'll just tell you just real quick, just a couple of stories about it, because it was very entertaining. Let's put it that way. So South African penguins, I've seen them in Cape Town, South Africa, in the wild. So they're super cool, and they can handle the Florida climate. They don't need ice and snow, so they're more of like a temperate, you know, climate penguin. So we'd have them outside, and every day people would ask, you know, where's the ice? Which, okay, that's a cool question, you know, whatever. I get why, you know, we associate penguins with ice. I get it, you know. But then...
Like they can't adapt, right?
Well, I mean, if you don't know, well, it depends what kind of penguin. So, you know, like if you take a penguin, like a king penguin from Antarctica, he's going to die in Florida. You know, he can't handle that heat, you know. But like these South African ones can. Yeah. But so that's an acceptable, you know, question, whatever. But every day I'd have at least one person ask me, why don't the penguins fly away? Because we just had them outdoors. And I'm like, who has a childhood where you don't learn that penguins don't fly?
They waddle.
Like how do you get through life and you don't ever learn that penguins can't fly?
They're not pigeons. They're not pigeons.
But every day people would ask that, it was crazy. And so I, again, I was like younger and like a little more impatient. So I'd be like, oh yeah, you see that? We have these identification bands on their wing. Like, you see that thing on his wing? Every time he flies, he gets electrocuted. So that's actually what we do. I just make up random, because you're just bored. You're an 18-year-old kid just sitting here hanging out. And the penguins are cool, but you have all these tourists asking you repetitive questions. So I just make up random stuff.
Tom, you would have answered that. You're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I would have got fired. Just I would have loved to say that.
I would have said that like outside of the job.
Yeah. Well, I had this one guy one time. He's like, "What are these?" And I'm like, "Oh, these are penguins." He's like, "Yeah, no. What are they?" And I'm like, "They're South African penguins." He's like, "No. What are they?" And I'm like, Sphenicus demersus is the scientific name. And he's like, "No, is it a bird or is it a fish?" I'm 100% real. This dude asked me, "Is it a bird?"
He asked you if a penguin was a bird or a fish.
Or a bird or a fish.
Wow.
And I'm like,
mental health really.
Bro, I'm sitting there like, am I getting like punked or something? But no, this guy's entirely 100% serious. And I'm like, well, it's a bird. And he looks at me, he's like, does it fly? And I'm like, no. He's like, then it's not a bird. Does it swim? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, then it's a fish. Like, I'm an idiot for not realizing this is very clearly a fish. And like, there was no going around. This guy, like, 100% serious. But yeah, sorry, penguin sidebar.
How do you think those penguins are so smart to do that? Like what they do in Antarctica, where the moms sit with the egg and they walk how many like tons and tons of miles.
Miles, yeah.
And then back.
Yeah, so animal migrations are fascinating, and like that's an amazing one. Monarch butterflies going from Canada, one butterfly going from Canada to Mexico to the breeding grounds.
How the fuck do they do that? Yeah, I read that in the fucking
I went and saw it myself in Mexico. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it myself in Mexico. Just hundreds of thousands or millions of butterflies all over these trees. And you're looking at them, you're like, some of those came from Canada. Wow. Like, and so these migrations certain animals do are just mind-blowing. Like, it's ingrained in their DNA and their instinct. Like, they just go, they just do it, and it's so cool. But how does that happen?
Yeah. Do you think they have a conscience?
So I think one of the biggest differences between humans, current humans, and well, no, I'm getting there, and other animals is our ability to speak and write, okay? And the reason I say this is because we're allowed that it allows us to give our history to our children, to our offspring, and we can build on the backs of our ancestors. Because if you take a group of children, like let's say babies that haven't spoken yet, and we go put them on a desert island, they're not going to have iPhones, okay? If they don't have anything, and then you wait until 100 years, guess what? They're still mumbling, grunting cave people 100 years from now. They're not going to develop a full-blown language. They're not going to develop probably any noticeable tools. They probably won't survive. Let's just say they did survive for the sake of argument, right? Because obviously as an infant, you're not going to survive. But let's say for the sake of argument, they do, okay? But they have no speech at all. They know no words. How do you think you're going to organize literally anything? You're just, you just grunt at each other all day. That's all you've got. And even if you give them their whole lifespan, modern humans, if you start them out from scratch, are just going to be dumb monkeys too.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm saying. Other animals, if they had the ability to speak or just to pass on information in one way or another, whether it's speaking, whether it's being able to write it down, whatever, telepathic octopus, I don't care. If they could pass on information, I think other animals would be not on par with us, but pretty darn close, some of them.
You just said octopus.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah?
Do you think octopus is an alien?
No.
You think it's from here?
Yeah. I saw that article, It's taken like something somebody said that like is unique and interesting and just kind of, blown it out of proportion kind of thing, yeah.
So then what is, out of all the animals you worked with or studied and known, what do you think is the smartest animal?
This episode is sponsored by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels are dropping substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Low testosterone can have all types of health effects. It can affect your muscle mass, memory, mood, sex drive, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. They're a worldwide leader in at-home testing kits, and their male hormone test lets you easily test your testosterone levels at home. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available to you in your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. These results are reviewed by a clinician, and a member of Let's Get Checked nursing team may call you to review your results. Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited, which is the highest ranking levels of accreditation. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS. Special offer for MSCS media viewers. Use promo code MSCS at checkout and get 30% off your test. The link is in the description below at the top. This episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water. It's Fiji water.
Again, that's fijiwater.com/MSCS, $5 off and free shipping.
That you know of, that you've researched? I know it's a tough question, but what do you think is the smartest animal?
I mean,
let me take a wild guess.
Yeah.
I just get fucking killed. I was gonna say one of the sharks.
So sharks are real cool too. I mean,
they're smart as fuck.
Yeah, they are. I love them.
What's your guess?
I'm still gonna go with like a dog. I don't know.
A dog?
A dog. Yeah.
So,
do you know what he does?
I know, but I'm just going with a dog.
No, it's funny you say, because dogs are one of my favorite things to crap on. No, because we think dogs are so smart, and the reason why is how we perceive intelligence. So we perceive intelligence based on cues that we understand as monkeys. That's what we are, and how we perceive it. So we have bred dogs to be able to communicate with us on an emotional level, with facial features, with eyebrow movements, ear movements, tail wag, all that kind of stuff. We bred them to be able to talk to us, and so we think they're so smart because they're similar to us. It doesn't make them smarter than other animals. It means that we perceive their emotions and their intellect better, right? But I would say an octopus is smarter than a dog.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, just right off there. But it comes back to that quote. It's like, well, if you put a lineup of animals up, I think it was Einstein that said this. Like, if you judge a fish on his ability to climb a tree, he's an idiot. You know what I mean? It depends on how you're judging the animal.
Yeah.
That's a horrible. I don't know who said the quote, but I thought it was. But either way, you get what I'm trying to get at right there. So that's why I said orcas, though, is because they communicate. And so because
dolphins, orcas,
yep, and they talk to each other, and they have distinct languages even. Different tribes, that's what they call them, different tribes of orcas from one area can't even talk to the ones in another area because they don't have the same language.
They're like in a different country.
Yeah, really.
No, seriously.
Yeah. So, but that ability to speak is what makes them such effective hunters, where they can actually formulate a plan and work as a pack like that and figure stuff out because they can communicate. I'm telling you, if my alligators could talk to each other, it would blow people's minds what they could do. You know,
I saw this on Rogan. I forget who he was talking to, and he goes, and it was like an animal biologist, and the animal biologist goes, animals look at humans, and they're like, all you guys got is a brain. You don't have any claws. You don't have any like, teeth. You don't have shit. You know, it was a joke, kind of, in a way.
Right.
But, I mean, if they could look at us, they'd probably be like, what the hell is this?
Well, yeah, I mean, that comes back to my little thought experiment, dumping a bunch of kids on an island. They're gonna die.
Yeah. It's all over.
You got nothing. I mean, if you are detached from your pack, that's why like humans are like a super organism. Like we are a working organism together, and you are one cell. And if I remove one cell from your body and put it on a table, it dies. Without you, it's dead. And without the rest of humanity, you're dead too. You know, more or less.
You know, you did a lot with reptiles and everything else. What interests me really a lot is ants.
Oh yeah.
How do they know how to do that shit?
So,
like they're born and they can walk?
Yeah, man.
Can you explain that to me?
Yeah. No, I can't. I wish I could. Yeah, ants are incredible. So that comes back to this, the migration idea. It's instinct, you know? And so like ants have these instincts, and you're just like, dude, that thing's brain is smaller than a grain of sand. And then you look at like you ever see where they pour liquid aluminum into an ant mound?
Oh, yeah.
It vaporizes all the ants. It's like a nightmare for the ants, apocalypse. But when you pull it out, it looks pretty. But when you look at something like that, you're like, dude, how did they build that? And this is the collective intelligence idea, you know, and that's where I was kind of saying with the people, like each individual human is like a cell of the super organism of humanity. And then we're building this thing. Like you look at cities and you're like, oh my God, like this is all like one big thing, like working together with all of its parts. You know, it's crazy. I don't know how to even explain it. You get what I'm trying to say, though?
Yeah, no, I'm following you. And I'm going to fuck you up with this question. So what do you think about the pyramids? Because look, if the ants can do what they do over time, they built their own instinct, I guess, how to just be born and walk and fucking build holes and hide from everybody.
Yeah.
What do you think about the pyramids?
Well, this is going back to what they talk about like on Rogan all the time is a Younger Dryas impact. Have you heard about that stuff?
No.
Okay, so the Younger Dryas impact is like an asteroid impact that they think reset civilization.
Oh yeah, the one that hit like way out by somewhere crazy and it moved shit over or something.
Yeah, so man, I haven't studied this enough to remember the numbers, so I'm gonna screw it up. So I won't even try. But the point is that the thought is that there's been multiple asteroid impacts because they do, every time the orbit comes back around, every 100,000 years or something like that. I'm going to butcher this. But the point is every 100,000 years, let's say.
You get hit.
You get hit. And it resets civilization. And it knocks the entire human population back down to like a couple tens of thousands or whatever. And then we just rebuild off of that. So that's where they're saying that the pyramids are way older than they think they are. And civilization has been restarted multiple times. And how would you know? When you have these cataclysms and things like that, it's a really cool idea that does have a lot of evidence behind it, And so that comes back, do we have instincts to build civilization? Are we just the ants doing the same thing on a different time scale?
We might need that asteroid again soon.
Well, we've just got farther than our predecessors, and because, coming back to what I was saying before, because of our ability to record history. Back then you couldn't record history like we can now with, modern technology and whatnot. So let's say there was an impact, everything got wiped. It was just word of mouth history, which is great until something like that happens. Mm-hmm. And then you lose the mythos, you lose that word of mouth, and then we reset again,
That is a great answer on the pyramids because you're right. Because say, a civilization a million years ago, for all we know, they could have been so advanced that they built it, asteroid hit it, but they built it so good it just didn't wipe it out.
Yeah.
But we want to sit there and think, I guess I don't know, people got rocks one at a time and put them up. I don't know. If us three could build those fucking things.
Yeah, dude. So have you seen this show called Raised by Wolves on HBO Max?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, it's super weird. It's really weird. I don't even want to recommend it because you're like, dude, this guy's out of his mind. It's some weird stuff, but it's cool sci-fi. And so they go to another planet, and then on the other planet they find remains of human structures, and basically it's this cyclical thing what we're trying to say. We're we already were on that planet, we already did everything, and now you're just repeating the exact same cycle after they got wiped.
I don't think that's crazy though.
Yeah,
I think that's a possibility of fact.
Yeah, it's some cool stuff to think about, I mean, we have the biological evidence to show that we did evolve here. As much as I would like to think we came from the stars too, we evolved here. We have the evidence to show that.
But maybe an asteroid hit here, left micro.
Oh, that's possible, yes.
And then that's how we slowly, became this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, how exactly life started, we've got an idea, but I mean, it could have been, that's panspermia. It could have been from an asteroid hitting here with some sort of microbial life. I mean, think about what we've already done. When we send probes to Mars and the moon and, different planets and stuff. And let's say there's what a tardigrade is?
Mm.
So it's also called a water.
I should know this shit.
Well, it's also called a water bear. And it's this really crazy microscopic 3-limbed organism that's super weird.
Wow.
And 6 limbs. Sorry, it's 3 sets of limbs. Sorry, I totally screwed that up. I was thinking about the 3 little. So it's got 3 little sets of limbs, whatever, 6 legs. The point is, these things can survive the vacuum of space. They can survive ultraviolet radiation.
What?
Yeah. So they can survive things that it doesn't make sense for them to be able to survive if they evolved here.
Right.
Why are they able to survive the vacuum of space?
Well, maybe somebody planted a seed here.
Right? Or I mean, they could have been here and then hit with an impact here and then launched into space and then were able to evolve, to survive in there and then came back.
And be able to adapt.
Yeah. So there's different weird stuff that could happen. But the point is, those things are microscopic and how do we know we're not putting those on other planets right now? We're seeding other planets currently is an argument you could make, I mean, I know NASA sterilizes everything, but it's microscopic stuff. What if you missed one?
Yeah, that's all you need.
Or 2, rather. Let's say you missed 2 of these microscopic organisms that were in some little screw hole that you missed on your sterilization, and now they're on Mars.
Now they're on Mars.
Yeah.
And you got Elon Musk who's dying to colonize it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there's probably one or two there on one of those. Remember when he was in his car?
Yeah, man. So like, I mean, imagine like we already put them on Mars, and then we got hit with an asteroid tomorrow. You know, there's been so many near misses that we had no idea about. Like, that's scary stuff. Like, that's very real. Like, literally next week, the planet could be destroyed by an asteroid that we didn't see coming. Let's say it did, and then Earth is gone. But we have 2 tardigrades on Mars, and they restart life over there.
Yeah.
Like,
and it makes total sense.
Yeah, dude, it's some crazy stuff.
So now, when you first started with wildlife and snakes.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. No, I love it. I've talked about this all day.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
Yeah. But I'm also curious about the snakes. So when you're dealing with like snakes and reptiles versus, well, I mean, alligators, same shit. But okay, so you're dealing with a snake and then an alligator. How do you approach each one differently?
Sorry, taking a sip here.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, sorry. So one of the keys to understanding anything, animals, whatever, is understanding how they perceive their environment, right? So your basis of understanding its behavior is how does it perceive its environment, right? So with alligators, you know, they're going to see you, they you know, visually, whatever, they can smell you, things like that. Snakes, they have a super heightened sense of smell with their forked tongue, right? So they can detect a lot with that. But what we get away with a lot with snakes as far as like handling them goes is certain snakes have heat sensing pits. So like pythons have it, or rattlesnakes have these heat sensing pits. So they can literally see your body heat in a pitch black room.
Really?
Yeah. So there are certain things you cannot get away with a rattlesnake because he is able to see those heat pits.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
no
fine.
worries.
Shit. That never happened ever. Go ahead.
No worries. So with a rattlesnake, they have those heat sensing pits so they can detect your thermal energy, right? But if I'm handling a cobra, they don't have those heat sensing pits. And then cobras are also very motion oriented. So I can pick a cobra up with my hand, and as long as I keep moving my head around and I keep his focus on my face, he doesn't realize my hand is part of my body, and that's what's holding him. So you can hold him right up like this, and he's looking right at your face. And I try that with a rattlesnake. He's like, I see you.
So is that where the psychology comes in to dealing with all
right.
animals?
Yep. So the psychology behind anything is just understanding how they perceive the environment, and then how you can manipulate its perception to be able to accomplish whatever your goal is right there, you know, getting close to it, trying to catch it, or, you know, what, just observe it, whatever you're trying to do, you know. So understanding their perception is the first step in understanding their psychology. And then you understand what they might fear, what they interpret as a threat, things like that. You know, quick movements, that's 99% of animals. Any quick movement is a threatening movement. You keep your movements calm, controlled, very deliberate in how you move. And that's more calming to the animal. He's like, okay, this guy's pretty chill, you know. But if you're just flapping around and going crazy, like, oh, you know, this guy's being aggressive, or there's something wrong with him, you know.
Right, because I would think that even if they're in a zoo or whatever, even if they're there, they still have their original instincts. So if they feel any type of aggression, they're going to attack.
Yeah, they might. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do if I was in. I mean, you could put me wherever you want. If I lived in the wild for however many years and had to kill shit all the time,
yeah.
If I feel like you're attacking me, I'm coming after you.
Yeah,
unless it's you, because you know how to psycho me out.
Yeah. So it's understanding things like that for sure, you know, and being non-threatening, you know, that's a big one.
What's the toughest snake to deal with, where you really have to be on your cue?
Well, I caught a black mamba. Yeah, when I was in
Africa. I love
Africa.
Kobe Bryant, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. So I headlocked Kobe Bryant. No.
Fuck. What was that like?
Wow.
No, that was hardcore. I was in Botswana, and we were like a helicopter ride into the bush.
You
So
got
like
balls, man. You got balls.
if you get hit by that, you're dead. And especially in that scenario, like where we were, it's 100% death. I mean, even best case scenario. Well, to back it up for a second, snake bites are complicated. Let's just put that out there first. If you get bit by a snake, there is no, like, set the timer. You have 16 minutes. Like, no, it's not how it works. So when the venom's injected into you, it's just like if you injected any kind of drug in a hospital. If you hit it intravenously, it's going to go into the heart. You know, if you put it in the muscle tissue, it has slower absorption. So if you get hit by a snake, and let's say that fang hits you right in a vein, artery of the arm, you can be dead within under 10 minutes.
Doesn't matter what kind.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's varying toxicity levels and whatnot, but even like a mildly toxic snake got a fang into your artery, you can die. You know, so that's why like it is super variable, and then it depends on your person, how you react to venom. People can have an allergic reaction to venom, just like a bee sting. People are allergic to bees. Some people can go in anaphylactic shock from a snake bite and be dead within minutes. So there's a lot going on there. But no matter how you cut this, you get bit by a black mamba in the bush, you're gonna die.
Do they really though? When you get bit by a snake, right? I've always heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, they use the same venom. Or is that just a wives' tale? Like say you get bit by a rattlesnake. they use the same venom from a rattlesnake to cure you, or that's just why?
Oh no, so anti-venom is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
what is that?
So anti-venom or anti-venin. So there's a couple different ways that they'll make it, but so there was horse serum was one of the first ones they mainly used, where they would inject a horse with diluted amounts of venom, and the horse builds up an immunity to the venom, and then you extract the antibodies from the horse. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people are allergic to horse. Right? No, really though. And so you get bit by a snake that maybe it wasn't life-threatening, and then we give you the anti-venom and you die from the allergic reaction to the horse serum. So, yeah, right? Like, you imagine? So,
like, you spent all this time trying to figure this out with horses, and then the horse is the one that kills you.
Yeah, so then they move to sheep, and that works a lot better. So they do it with sheep. So then you have one sheep that you can, put all this venom into, and it gets to a point where the sheep could take a bite from a full-blown snake and be perfectly fine.
But does it have to be, like, if you get bit, I don't really know snakes. I know kind of what some look like. A rattlesnake, this one. Let's say I get bit by a rattlesnake, but I don't know what it is. And then, I got bit. They take me to the hospital.
You have to have a specific
anti-venom.
anti-venom.
To be like, I have to know, like, I got bit by a rattlesnake. Is that a question?
Right. So it depends on the snake. Some of them, yes. So with rattlesnakes, they are vipers. And so in the U.S., we have something called Crofab is the anti-venom that's made. And so Cro is coming off of Crotalis or Crotalidae. And so these are most of our vipers that we have in the United States. So if you get bit by any kind of rattlesnake in the U.S., not any, let me rephrase that, almost any, you can get Crofab, you should be fine. But then there's some snakes like Mojave rattlesnakes that have hemotoxic venom, which is what generally rattlesnakes have. They also have neurotoxin, so they have a concoction of both. Or there's actually even canebrake rattlesnakes here in Florida, in North Florida.
They whack you out, right?
Yeah, and they have more neurotoxic. So venom is super complicated is the point. But Crofab covers most snake bites in the U.S. that are from a viper. Now, if you get hit by like a coral snake, that's a neurotoxin straight. So like you'd have to have coral snake anti-venom specifically for that, which, by the way, are all expired and they don't have anymore.
That's great.
Don't get bit by one of those.
Stay away from that.
So how do they get that back?
Well, the thing is that coral snake bites are really rare. Coral snakes are like the only way to get bit by a coral snake is you have to mess with it. Like you have to step on it, you have to grab it. Like you could step next to a rattlesnake and it feels threatened enough to bite you. That is a thing. Coral snakes don't really strike out. They do this like kind of like swipey movement, I guess you could say. So like if a coral snake's right next, like you can put it right here on the table and we just sit right here, it's not going to bite either one of us. You're fine.
Now,
don't touch it.
Yeah, but what makes that type of snake so much calmer than
perception? We're coming back to perception. So if we put a rattlesnake on the table in front of us, rattlesnakes have heat sensing pits. Like I was explaining, he can see you and I clear as
that
day.
Motherfucker.
You turn the lights off, you can still see your heat signature.
You're done. You're done. You can't hide from it.
Bro, yeah, you're donezo. All right. Now, with the coral snake, though, they are a fossorial species, meaning that they mainly live underground in the vegetation and they're nocturnal. They have very, very poor eyesight. So if we put like a coral snake right on the table in front of us and we just both sat here and didn't move, nothing's going to happen. Put a rattlesnake, different story. Or if you put a mamba, different story. Mambas are a diurnal hunting snake, right? Yeah. So coral snakes are moving through the leaf litter. They're looking for smaller snakes, lizards, like stuff like that. Mambas hunt by day. They're active. They have very accurate, acute vision. Yeah.
But if you get bit by a venomous snake, the only way to get cured and not die, hopefully, is from an anti-venom, or is there like you can't like take Tylenol, or you know what I mean? Like what do you
like? Can you get bit by a snake and live without having?
It depends on the snake. So there's varying toxicity levels for the venom, right? So like if you get hit by like a pygmy rattlesnake, probably fine. You should go to the hospital. You should, and you could like end up losing like a finger or something like that. But generally,
not just a finger.
It's a lot better in your life.
Right.
So if it was an eastern diamondback rattlesnake, like prior to medical care, an eastern diamondback rattlesnake bite was like 90-something% fatality rate, super high.
Wow.
But now that we have medical care, it's like you're almost certainly going to survive a snake bite if you get hit in the United States, And whether or not they get you with anti-venom or treat you symptomatically, they can generally save your life in most cases. So treating symptomatically, come back to your question though. So there's a lot of different kinds of venoms. You have myotoxins, cardiotoxins, hemotoxins, neurotoxins, right? So like you got a bunch of different stuff going on there. Different concoctions depending on the species, different percentages. So again, very complicated, but to really dumb it down, let's just say hemotoxin, neurotoxin. So hemotoxin destroys your tissue, your blood, things like that. So if we're out in the middle of nowhere, right, and I got bit in the hand by let's just say by anything, venomous, and you're in the middle of nowhere and there is no way you're going to get to the hospital, if you were to tourniquet that limb, right, from away from the heart, then you're probably going to lose that limb. Now, if it's a hemotoxic snake, you can tourniquet that, and you're losing it. Okay, it's going to necrotic. It's
just going to eat up all your tissue.
Yep,
right?
exactly. But if you keep it from getting to your heart, you might survive. Now, what's crazy with the neurotoxic venom is depending on what it is and depending on toxicity, and again, I have to say this because this stuff is so complicated, but really dumb it down. If it was just a neurotoxic bite, you could put a tourniquet on it, and if it's not too toxic, you can actually start moving that up, and your body can start neutralizing the venom, and over time, you might be able to survive that. In fact, people have survived just by being put on a respirator. So,
really?
Yeah, if you get intubated and it was a neurotoxic bite, you get put on a respirator, you give your body enough time to move that venom out and work through it, because it leads to paralysis, the neurotoxin does.
Because it calms you down so you're not all tight, right? So it can move?
Well, no, you're going to go into paralysis. So,
Okay.
yeah, the
You're
neurotoxic,
paralyzed.
yeah, so you're going to stop breathing eventually. So if we have a machine that breathes for you artificially and we keep on doing it, we can keep you alive.
Yeah.
So there's this famous herpetologist, Joe Slewinski. He got bit by a banded crate in Myanmar. And because of the political snafu happening in the country at the time, it was Burma then, they were not able to airlift him out. And they wouldn't airlift in the anti-venom either. So his team took...
What a dick.
Yeah, it was really bad. He died because of this. But his team kept him alive for like...
Good team.
I don't want to mess it up, but I think it was a couple days by taking... just around-the-clock turns, breathing for him, CPR.
Some good friends.
And keep you alive. And then eventually, like, they said they could smell the decay coming from inside. And he was like, at that point, he was just blinking, yes, no,
Yeah.
And they're like, do you want us to continue? And he said no,
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't
Sorry
going to
to
make it
hear
out of that. Yeah. I mean, it was way back, I didn't know him. But yeah, it is sad. But that's a crate is a super toxic snake. So, like, he wasn't going to survive that. But meanwhile, other less toxic snakes, people have been able to survive just through respirator, is where I was going with that.
Wow.
I promise I'll get off this. Tell me about that black mama.
Okay,
I want to know.
No, I want to talk
beginning.
about that, man. That was so cool. That was
had to be
one of the coolest
I
things.
mean, I would want to be like about 3,000 feet back with a good camera and watch.
Bro. So like we're there. I was there to dive with crocodiles, with Nile crocodiles.
You saw a black mama.
I didn't see when I caught one.
You're fucking nuts, bro.
No, I saw a bunch of them. Yeah, I saw like.
You caught one?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to tell me the whole story.
Oh, we can pull the pictures up. Yeah, if you want me to like.
Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah, they're way back. I could airdrop you.
Yeah, do that.
Let me airdrop you really fast.
So you go there and you actually are they? What do they look like in person?
I'm gonna show you one. All right, I'm gonna send you some cool snakes here real fast.
That's what they called Kobe, the black mama.
Yeah.
Because he was just a maniac. I told you, when I used to go to those games, Rob, he would play 44 minutes. After the game, we would go up and have dinner, and if he missed one foul shot, he'd be out there for 2 more hours shooting that same shot that he missed.
Man.
And then have
your
a
MacBook
back-to-back
Pro?
game.
Yep.
All right, yeah, let me send you these. Yeah, so black mambas are often considered to be the most dangerous snake in the world. They don't have the most toxic venom, but due to they are super toxic, but like a good way to put it when we talk about like toxicity is there is a certain threshold that you're not going to survive as a human, right? I was like, I put a bunch of guns on the table and I'm like, here's a 9mm, here's a 45, here's a Desert Eagle. Okay. The mama's the Desert Eagle over here.
I'll take the 9.
But like either way, yeah, so there you go.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's one of the mambas. Well, that's the one that I caught, obviously. I saw like a dozen of them, man. I saw one that was like 11 feet. I mean, that one's pretty big. I mean, you saw how tall I am, so.
Wow, you're crazy,
Fucking
man.
shit,
Dude, you're crazy.
dude.
Bro, that was.
I have this on
you.
that shot. I'm on that, Shami. I'm on that.
Yeah,
that's
you're on that
shot. That's incredible.
Lazar. I love you. We're best friends forever. But that's fucking crazy.
Dude.
Wow.
It was so cool.
So here's a
I want to
question.
see that.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
How do you? I know it's in you. That's like, people always ask, how do you stay calm? Are you ever nervous? Like, were you nervous when you grabbed this fucking thing?
So Before I did, I was, like they're so, I mean, they're so infamous. They're so notorious, I mean, if that thing gets you, you're gonna die. And there's so much mythos behind it. Like everybody kept on telling me, because, going in, I'm like, I'm gonna catch one. And everybody's like, no, you can't. And everybody's like, you're gonna die. And I'm like, you don't know me,
And you're holding it.
Yeah, man.
Like your life is in danger.
Yeah.
Super duper danger.
So like, we saw them, and like the people there, they don't know who I am, and they're just telling me like, no, you're gonna die. Like it can't be done. And I know other people have caught them. It's not like I'm the first, but like for these people, they didn't know anybody who had, and they know people who've been killed by them. So they're like, yeah, you can't do it. It's not able to be done. They're too fast. And I'm like, well, I'm doing it, But then I hear all this, and I'm like, what if they're right? Because I'd never seen one before. This is my first experience with them. And it was just a snake like any other snake. It's faster than other snakes. It was super scary. I mean, that's a top tier snake, but it's still a snake. It's not like a mythical beast.
Believe it or not, I understand why you did, because like your whole life is this. So
Yeah.
a black mama, you get a chance. Fuck
For me, yeah, I was like, I'm doing it, man.
Yeah, fuck it. If it kills you, you go out with holding a black mama, right?
I'm
I mean,
like-
shit. You go in the record book.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm doing it for me, because because everybody asks me, why would you put your life in danger? You're out there by helicopter. If you get hit, it's like a couple hours by helicopter. Like you're not gonna live. And everybody's like, why would you risk your life? I'm like, because I want to. That's what I want to. That's what I want to do. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing this for me.
Yeah, just put it like in your little memory book.
Yeah,
I got one.
100%, man.
And look at you smiling. And that's who wouldn't be?
Putting that in my Pokedex.
So when you saw the black mama, how'd you approach it? How did you get it to the point where you could hold it?
Right. So the first one I saw, I actually climbed up a tree with it, and I just observed.
Climbed up a tree.
Yeah,
Wow.
and which everybody said I was going to die too, and I'm like.
I would have said that too.
Yeah, well, so I saw it up there, so I climbed up the tree with it, and I got like eye level with it. And actually, I think I can send you that. I can send you that shot too, because I took this really
dude, that is the coolest
sick
thing
shot
I've
of
ever
it.
seen.
It's crazy, man. That's all I ask. Like, you have a nervousness at all? Like,
But you know what, Rob? It just goes to show you that if you understand, like you always say, if you understand the psyche of the animal, the reptile, or whatever, you can handle it. You're not dead.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have pissed it off, you would have been dead.
Oh no, he was trying to kill me. No, this is not nice right here. No.
Oh, you can't.
Oh no,
keep
he
him
was trying to
calm.
full on kill me. Everything he's got.
What was he doing?
Going for my head.
Really?
Oh yeah, he was striking, just repeatedly striking, and they like to target your head. They know. Go for the head, So he's definitely like targeting my head, and I had him on the stick like that, and he's swinging up trying to bite me and everything like that, and yeah, you got to do the dance.
Because if you have them on that stick, they can still come up and.
Oh yeah, absolutely he was, yeah, and I mean he jumps off the stick, and I got him by the tail, and then he uses his stick to block, and he strikes up, and you block him, and it's like you're in the fight. It's real.
Can you resend that picture?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry,
it didn't come through.
Is that what is so amazing about them? Is their speed? Is that they're just so damn fast?
Right. So yeah, that's what I was going with. That is talking about just like the danger. What makes them so dangerous? So really high venom toxicity. Okay. And then speed. They're super fast. They're the fastest snake.
Are they?
Yeah. So they're the fastest snake in the world. They are not afraid of you. Attitude. Like if we're compiling what makes a good fighter, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like attitude, like I'm gonna kill you. Okay? Like the most venomous snake in the world is inland taipan in Australia, and they are puppy dogs, right? They're not aggressive at all. It's just like the coral snake. The most venomous snake in North America is coral snakes. The only way to get bit by that thing is you have to mess with it. It doesn't want to bite you. It doesn't want anything to do with you. Now if we had a mamba in this room,
I'm running.
I'm
gonna try to run.
Well, you could put most snakes in a room like this size with somebody, and as long as you don't do anything, the snake's not gonna come at you. Again, they're afraid of us. They want nothing to do with you. They're not coming after you, right? And it's not that mambas are coming after you either, but their defensiveness. All these snake bites are defensive bites too, by the way. They're not aggressive. They don't want you, but their defensiveness is on a different level, man. Like if he's over there, he's coming over here.
and how are they with their families? Like, how are black mamas with their babies? And
well, they lay eggs. They never know their offspring.
And
they're just off on their own.
They're off. They leave and run.
Yeah. Did that one come through?
No, it's not coming through.
Oh, man. I don't know why. It says sent.
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Well.
Try one more time. Let's try one more time.
Either way, that's when I was just trying to show you.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a cool shot.
Oh, shit.
So that's when I climbed up the tree with the one.
Wow.
I was checking him out. But Yeah, so first one I just observed it and I was just checking it out,
It's up there, Rob. Yep. That's a badass one.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so just observing it, and then, I found a couple other ones, but they were also high up in the tree and things like this. And so I was like, well, I know how gnarly these things are. So I waited for the perfect opportunity. I found this one. It was kind of in the open, and it was just on the move in the open. I just went for it because I'm like, he's got nowhere to go. He's not going up a tree. I have enough area to dance around with this thing. Because I know it's going to try to kill me, and I need an area to move in where I'm not tripping over logs. You're not constrained. So it worked out because it was like in the open.
Yeah,
Look
at that.
So that's the first one I found. And so I went up in the tree with him. And so that's him gaping and showing me. So those are the fangs you can see up at the front.
Oh, my God.
The fangs have a fleshy sheath over them. So that's why you don't actually see the fang. But that little bump at the front, that's where the fang is hidden behind that fleshy sheath.
Wow, their skin is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So black mamba comes from the name of the mouth, not the snake's skin itself. So they're more of like a grayish, like olive coloration, but the inside of the mouth is black.
Wow.
And so they say and their head's shaped like a coffin. So they
because they put people in coffins.
Yeah.
Right?
So they say when the coffin-shaped snake smiles at you, you run.
If you can, right?
Yeah, right. But yeah. So it's just such a cool snake, man. I did a video on this, put it up on my YouTube. Nobody even cared. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is a black mamba." Like people don't get it, And then they see like my gator stuff, and I get like millions of views for some of my gator videos that like they're cool. This is way cooler.
This is way cool.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, no offense, right? I mean,
yeah,
the Gator
no.
is great, but this is
This is way cooler, and I get like nothing for this.
That's
I'm
an
like,
incredible photo too.
fuck yeah.
That's incredible.
people. I think it's just because people don't understand like the level of danger with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they don't get it.
Well, they do this. They do this all day.
Yeah,
so
right,
they don't
right.
know anything about anything. They
Yeah.
don't know that that's like really fucking cool and how
Yeah.
cool penguins are. And all kinds of other shit.
Yeah, man.
So then you're big into the wildlife, and then how do you make the switch to alligators and crocodiles and stuff like that?
Yeah, so growing up in Florida, I was just always around them, and in a hypothetical situation that I never did because it's illegal. But growing up in Florida, hypothetically, I knew this guy who just always.
I know that word really well.
Yeah, I knew this guy would just always go out and catch them all the time, and that's how he learned how to do all this stuff. Not that I'd ever say anybody should ever do that. You shouldn't. But yeah. So
and that's how you got into it?
Not me, but my friend did.
Your friend. so after you were talking to your friend, then your friend got you into
Yeah,
it.
exactly, man.
And then how did that start?
So just catch and release, just go out there just to see him, and I this guy would catch all these alligators and just let them go just to learn about them and things like that. It was just really, really cool, which nobody should do either because it's a really good way to die. Really good way to get yourself killed. It's a miracle this hypothetical person survived. Especially knowing what I know now. Now that I do this professionally and I know what to do. Like when I go to train somebody new and I've trained quite a few people on handling alligators and everybody's like, well, how did you learn? And I'm like, don't you worry about how I learned. All right, because like I don't know how I'm alive.
Do they kill you right off? Like, alligators bite you, right? They can kill you. I understand right off the bat. Do they eat you or do they save you for later?
So it totally depends. An alligator bite will depend upon its motivation. Like what goes next depends on the motivation. Why is it biting you?
Sure.
Right. So if you're trying to catch it, it's trying to bite you defensively. Mm-hmm. It's scared of you and it wants you to leave it alone. So it's trying to get away from you. So a lot of times. It depends on how motivated he is and how in danger he thinks he is. Because sometimes they'll just actually snap and let go and turn and run because they just want to get away. They're afraid of you. Now, if he thinks his life is in danger and he's going to die, he's going to kill you first, right? So those are the situations where like, and then this comes back to, again, why are they biting you? What's the motivation, right? So then you have predatory. So your different motivational breakdowns can come to defensiveness, predatory, territorial, things like this, right? So if it's...
Aren't they very territorial?
Not towards people. So I've never encountered that. People talk about it a lot, so that's why I include it, but I've never had one be territorial towards me.
Are they territorial within each other?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yeah, they can be within each other, yeah. Okay. So
this podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy.
A lot of people ask, like, "Oh, do you work with them in the breeding season?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're not trying to have sex with me."
Yeah, they're worried about their own people.
It's so, but no, really though, you know, like I don't have any problem. They don't change the way they work with
imagine
me.
the questions you get.
Oh God, yeah. Where are the nipples? Yeah, people ask that one a lot, actually.
Alligators have sex.
Yeah, that's a common one too. But to come back to this motivational thing, because it is important to understand. So if an alligator is attacking you in a predatory sense, it thinks you might be prey. It's usually more investigatory. You know, so he's coming in, he's checking you out. And in that case, that's where you hear about people who have an alligator attack them when they're swimming, and they turn around and they punch it in the nose, and it lets go, and it leaves them. And like, wow, their noses are really sensitive then, huh? No. It was scared of you and is trying to figure out if you're prey or not. Now, if he knows what you are and he's not afraid of you, there's nothing you can physically do as a human with your bare hands to hurt that animal.
Right. He's just feeling you
Zero.
out. He's just feeling your ass out. Right?
Exactly. So this is what gives people this false sense of security, though, because people are like, oh, I go swimming, I just got to punch if it bites me. It's like, nah, bro. if he's scared of you and he's trying to figure out if you're food, it will work, right? But if he's not afraid of you,
you're done.
You are done. There is nothing you can do barehanded against that animal to actually hurt it. You know, that's where we come into like the gator wrestling stuff. You can handle them. You know, we have the ability to do so with skill. But if I'm trying to like barehanded, like my life or the alligator's life, there's nothing I can do about that. Like there's nothing you're doing barehanded.
It's not going to happen.
No, not going to happen. I mean, when they fight each other and they know they're in a fight, you know, he gets his arm ripped right off. They don't flinch. I mean, they don't.
Really?
Flinch, arm ripped clean off, bro.
And they just live with one
keep
arm.
Fighting. Yeah, oh yeah. And they keep fighting though. Arm ripped off. I'm still trying to kill you exactly the same as I was with my arm. You know.
Do you think the alligators lived through the Ice Age?
Oh no, I know they did.
Oh, I was gonna say I think they do.
Bro.
Yeah.
So I got fossils.
Really?
So one of my other things I love doing is fossil hunting.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew they did.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have brought them if I thought about it
too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of stuff really. So So I have fossilized alligator bones, the osteoderms, those ridges, those spikes on his back, those bumpy things, those are osteoderms. Those are solid bone armor plates. And those come from basically the dinosaur times.
I was just going to say that. Do you think an alligator is like a miniature dinosaur that's still left?
So they're not dinosaurs because they share a common ancestor with dinosaurs. So there's something called the archosaur, and then archosaurs diverged off. So you went this way, crocodilians, this way, dinosaurs, right? So they're not a dinosaur, but they shared space with dinosaurs. So crocodilians are 240 million years old. Dinosaurs went extinct 65 million years ago. That's quite a lot of overlap right there.
So they were hanging out with the dinosaurs.
Oh yes, for hundreds of millions of years, they were eating and being eaten by dinosaurs. So that's why they evolved these armor plates on the back that they still have to this day to protect them from each other, basically. But those were made for dinosaur defense.
Isn't that so
That's
fucking
so
cool?
cool, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I find those osteoderms fossilized. I have several of them that I found myself.
You got to bring them next time, man.
Dude, yeah, it's super cool.
That's
I found
badass.
one of the
I
coolest.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, so one time I found a fossilized solid black alligator tooth side by side with a white alligator tooth from, right now in the wild. I'm like, oh my God.
Isn't that like a 1 in a million shot?
Unbelievable. To find them next to each other like that, dude. Like, I mean, separated by literally, Florida's relatively young, so we're only talking about like from the last ice age, so we're only talking about tens of thousands of years, which, when you're talking about these guys, you can go back 100 million years and find basically the same thing.
Crazy.
And I try to tell people this, just like they still have a lot within their bodies that they had to survive, 100,000 years ago. However many years ago, when we were evolving, DMT was active in our brain. And I believe that the reason why it was active in our brain, it's still there now, it's just not active, because if we didn't have the DMT, I don't think we would have the balls to go up to a tiger and shoot it. Or, shit, not shoot it. Fucking get a stick and stab it.
Right.
So then after you no longer need the DMT anymore because we evolved, it's still there, but it's no longer active until you die.
Yeah, there's some weirdness.
Weird shit.
There's
right?
some weirdness. When did that come up?
But same thing though.
Yeah,
Same type of thing.
Actually, I was gonna say, let me just give you here. You can just look through this, man, because this is like my crazy like favorites album. So on here, just mainly animal stuff.
Yeah.
And you can airdrop yourself whatever you think looks cool. You can throw it up there.
All right.
But there's a ton of stuff on there.
So now when you go to handle a snake, you have the thing, everything else.
That was just a GoPro stick that I was using. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was just literally a GoPro stick.
Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's literally what it was.
Dude, you're the man. You're gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Now, when you go to an alligator, it's the same type of thing. You fill out the psyche, and then you go from there.
Right. So understanding, when you're going into the situation, how's he going to perceive your introduction to the situation, right? So like kind of like an equation almost, So like you're entering in how you're entering into the equation, right? So depends on the situation. Am I trying to catch him? Am I just trying to take pictures of him? Is it one I already know who expects food out of me? And if I don't give him the food, he's going to try to eat me? There's a lot going on there, And they're intelligent animals. They learn. So with the ones that I work with and I know, they know me, and they also know enough to try to catch me.
Really?
They learn what you do. Yeah, they learn your tricks, man. Like I had one that I used to work with who was just super gnarly, and he was at a different park, and he I never got to like train him. Like I love my training work and the intelligence behind it, but this one I never got to train him. It was just like you would do shows with him, like Gator wrestling show kind of stuff, and like which I don't even like saying Gator wrestling show because some of it is really abusive. Obviously, I'm not doing that aspect, and we can break that down if you want to, but some people are not nice in how they do it, and then there are ways to handle them that I don't call wrestling, but it still falls under the umbrella, right? But
everything I've watched you do, it seems like kind of more having fun with them.
Yeah, but so
can you have fun with an alligator or a crocodile?
I have fun.
I mean, do you think they are?
So I wouldn't say that they're having fun as much as like it depends. Like when I'm working with them and I'm giving them food and I'm training them, I think they kind of enjoy that. They're getting food out of it, and sometimes I'll try to make them think about things and like try to earn it. So like I'll work on commands and whatnot, and like almost see the gears turning in his head. But anyway, so. This gator, though, I would do these, again, wrestling. I don't like saying it was a gator presentation, whatever. So
I like that you're saying that so that people don't think like you don't just grab a gator and wrestle the fucker. Like you do it the right way.
There's a respectful way to handle them that doesn't hurt them. And then there's also people who do it disrespectfully, and it falls within the same terminology, unfortunately, to most people. So that's why like I'm kind of tiptoeing around it because I don't
understand why hurt an animal isn't hurting you.
Well, a lot of gator wrestler guys are going out there with sticks and they're jabbing the gator and they're hitting them to piss it off.
Well, I hope it eats them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is they want it to look more aggressive for the showmanship, so they're like hitting it and hurting it.
I hope it gets fucking eaten.
There you go.
I hope it gets eaten.
So I don't want to be labeled within that category is where I'm going with that.
Right.
So anyways, this one gator though, he was gnarly, super gnarly, and I never got to work on training with him and getting him to be nice. But I would go up on, and you'd have to like jump on his back and stuff like that, and he's trying to bite you, and I'd touch on his right side to get him to turn to the right, and then I'd step to the left, and then eventually he learned, touch on the right, he turns to the left. Yeah, he learns your moves,
smart, man.
That's what I'm saying. They learn your moves.
Well, they've been here forever.
Yeah. All right.
These are some. By the way, looking through your phone here, unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's unreal. So this is real beautiful.
Yeah. So that one is a cool, and that's an olive grass snake, and that was in Africa, and I didn't even know what that was when I caught it. I just was like, I'm in Botswana first time, and like I tried to study up, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. It might be venomous. I know it's not deadly, but I think it's kind of venomous. So I caught it, acting like it could kill me. And then, it's mildly venomous. It's not. It's only. I think there's only been like 2 deaths from one. But this is just kind of cool because you can see the rear fang. So you see that enlarged back fang. So that's more of like a rear fang snake. If you saw on the mamba, the fangs were much more forward on the jawline, right? So this guy's got to like really get a hold of you to be able to get you.
Why do they shed their skin?
So their skin is basically, it's made of keratin, the same thing as your hair, okay? And so as they grow, they're going to shed their skin because, how do you want to say that? Like your hair from once your hair is out here, it's not growing here, it's growing back here, okay? So the scale can't get bigger on its own right there, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so he's got to shed that layer. Yes.
Yeah. Because I had a few snakes when I was a kid, and they would always shed in my...
Right, yeah. All right, so that one's an alligator lizard I found in Mexico.
Alligator lizard?
Yeah, so just because it kind of looked like a gator, it's not related to gators, but
I think his hands are so cool.
Yeah. So we did a 13-state road trip through Mexico. Got held at gunpoint twice.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, tell me about that. What happened? You can tell his story.
So, getting that, and it was all for snakes and lizards, man. Just to try to find these. Like this guy, we went into cartel territory. We were
are you fucking crazy?
I'm serious.
He didn't die from getting bit by an alligator, but the cartel got him.
Dude, at that spot specifically, this is like a cloud foresty area. And so the first day we went to that spot, you couldn't see like 20 feet in front of you because it was just all this mist. It was super creepy. And we're specifically told not to go there because our cartel's like been very active there.
Chris.
So we went there anyways.
And you said it. And here comes a hick.
Yeah.
Right? Or a redneck.
Yeah,
a redneck into the cartel.
No, nobody saw us though. we got through that one. Nobody even
I'm
knew.
glad I wasn't there because then a Dago would have came with you. And they definitely would have shot me.
But yeah, so we went there for that lizard, man. It was sketch. But so what we were doing, we would just drive out into these spots and then just sleep on the ground outside the car. Just literally under the stars, no tent, just sleeping on the ground. One day we got attacked by like wild dogs, and I just rolled underneath the car, and the dogs are trying to pull you off from under the car.
Jesus Christ.
And then one time we're sleeping, and we're just sleeping. We didn't even know where we were. We were just like, the guy, my buddy, it was like basically 3 white guys and then 1 Mexican dude. Thank God we had him with us. We definitely would have been like really bad shape. So like one time we're sleeping and I just wake up to, voices and I wake up and I look over and I just see my buddy on his knees with an assault rifle in his face. like literally on his knees, about to get shot in the head.
You probably all would have had bags over your heads and taken somewhere.
Bro, it was some scary stuff. And thankfully, on that one though, they were actually like a SWAT team that found us and they said they thought we were dead bodies. They said that the cartel dumps bodies here all the time, and they thought we were dead bodies. And so they just stopped to check us.
We've had some interesting guests in here, right? But this man plays with all these crazy things that can kill him.
And then he
goes to Mexico with the cartel in their territory and is still sitting here talking to us.
Dude.
And gets the fucking cool ass.
Yeah.
It gets amazing shot.
Yeah,
Do you have
man.
any cartel shots we can post?
No, I don't. We got...
like the guy with the AK.
Hey, can I take a quick picture of my GoPro?
Yeah. Well, at one spot, we went up into the mountains in another spot that's like really bad, and so I'm like... We wanted to stop for food, and we found this little nice lady on the side of the road, and she was making elote, and so we stopped and had some elote, and she's like, "Oh, come into my house, come inside." She invited us inside of her house. She was so nice. We sat at the table. She made us food. She just saw us on the street, man, like so nice, such good people. So that's why I don't want to paint Mexico like this horrible narcos kind of place because there's so many good people, and she invited us in her house, and then after the meal, she's like, "Okay, well, you boys have to leave because you're going to die here." In the sweetest but deadpan voice, "You're going to die here. You need to leave."
But at least she fed you.
Yeah,
it's
she
kind
was
of like a mom thing.
Yeah, she was so nice, but she's like, "No, you have to leave. You're going to die here."
Now, when you start messing with sharks, so you've been through all the snakes, and then you get the sharks.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of sharks, hammerheads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got
some shark ones. Yeah. Bro,
which one's that?
That's a lemon shark.
I love sharks.
Yeah, I love sharks, man.
Hammerheads, they're the scary. They're the
right there
most vicious one.
No, they're really not that bad.
Why does everybody say that?
Because they look scary. They look scary. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, a hammerhead can kill you, but they're not like the most aggressive shark by any means. They're really shy. When we go specifically diving for hammerheads, they're really hard to get in for photos because they're so afraid of you. In fact, that can also be the same case with bull sharks. Bull sharks are what are generally considered one of the most aggressive sharks in the world, and that's one of the main ones I take people to go diving with. I'll run shark diving trips and take people out. One of the main ones I take people out for is bull sharks because it's the same thing we were talking about before. It's all about perception. Okay, so with the sharks, what we want to do this safely is we want to set up a safe environment for shark diving. And what we mean by that is you want to have clear water. Okay, we want to have calm people, and we don't want to have any struggling fish. Yep. Now, we do have bait in the water to bait them in, so they want to come in and they smell the blood, but without the struggling fish, they don't go in that frenzy mode that people think about. The frenzy is really like when you have struggling fish and they pick up on that struggle immediately, or the sound of crushing bone is a really big one too. So if you're breaking bones or anything like that, they get so amped. But
what's with the clear water?
because then they see you,
then
and they know what you are, and they know you're not food. We're not on their menu. So, like, once they see you and they're like, okay, that's not what I eat, you know, and they also know you can see them. And that's one of the most important ones. I always say, like, think of them like a mugger, okay? Somebody's going to mug you. Like, if you are in a back alley with a mugger in a dark back alley at 3 a.m, bro, he sees opportunity. That same dude you can walk next to in a city park at noon with other people around, he's not going to try you. You know, they know when there's opportunity. Sharks do the same thing. I've been shark diving with bull sharks where, like, we're in clear water. Everything's great. I'm controlling the bait properly, so they're not getting amped up. They're not getting too excited. And we're drifting. Sometimes we'll drift like 10 miles on one dive. And we drifted into murky water. And the exact same sharks that are not aggressive, they're being totally fine. We drift in murky water. They start coming up and trying to bump me. They're checking me out. They're trying me. They're trying to see if I'm gonna freak out. You know, and the visibility decreases. Yep. Yeah. As soon as that visibility decreases, they know you can't see them coming, and they recognize the opportunity. So that's what I mean. We're like, if you set it up correctly, it's actually pretty safe. But you do it the wrong way, yeah, people get eaten.
I studied a lot about whales, so I don't know if it's the same with sharks, but I've read that whales can hear like 100 miles away.
So
are sharks similar with their hearing?
So what's really cool, they hear using what's called a lateral line. So along their body, they don't have ears like what we're thinking. They have this line
across like something in their
body.
Skin. Right?
Yeah, it's like the lateral line going across the middle of the body, and that's how they pick up vibration moving through the water. Because all sound is vibration. Yeah, sound is just vibration.
But they can feel that miles and miles away.
It depends on what it is, you know. If it's a big enough vibration, absolutely, you know. And whales will utilize a specific water column and a specific tone to be able to have the sound travel that far. You know, it's not like if you're, it's not like if you're at the beach and you fart in the water. Well, here's it 100 miles away. It's not that kind of thing, you know. But so they're utilizing a specific technique for that really, you know, long-lasting sound. But with these guys, yeah. So they do hear. Like, we'll be out even on clear water days where you think you can see. It's 100 feet deep. I can see the bottom. I don't see any sharks. And then you do some crushing up of some bone, and boom, there's 20 sharks right there within seconds. So, like, bro, they were there. They stay right outside your range of vision. Again, they're very aware of what you're perceiving too. You know?
And when you're hanging out with them, basically, you're just being very calm. You're letting them feel you out. Let them bump you. Don't react. You're just playing the card.
Right. So I don't let them bump me. That's a big one too. Right, because they're checking you out. So, like,
so if they bump you, what do?
Face them.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So if you actually scroll, you'll see I got quite a few photos of me like right in the mix with a bunch of sharks. So like your first defense, quote unquote, defense against a shark is eye contact. Just look at them, because again, they're very aware of your perception. You look at them, they look at you, and they're aware that you see them. They lose the element of surprise. So
and does that make you the alpha?
It doesn't make you the alpha. It makes you a non-naive victim.
Okay. Right.
You know, it's
different in the animal world.
Yeah. So like, you know, you're going up to like a dude in the bar, and you see this dude just over here like looking at everybody like this. You're like, yeah, that's not the guy you're gonna mess with. You know what I mean? Like if let's say you're the bad guy. You know, you're trying to steal from somebody. You're trying to victimize somebody. You don't go up to the dude who's got eyes in the back of his head, who's just like you take one step and this dude just turns around like, yeah, like that's not the dude you go mess with.
Now you're gonna be in the newspaper.
I did twice now at shark diving. I think you know him. We talked about this, John Moore.
Yeah.
I went with him a few times out of Jupiter, right? And my kids went with me, and my oldest son was scared as shit. My youngest John jumped in, and John was like, just relax. Jumped in the water. Bull sharks, coming around. They're looking at you. You didn't get too close to us. They were close enough. But it was just a calmness, and everybody's just like freaks out about sharks. I always think there's that misconception with sharks people don't understand. You know, you hear on the news, person bit by shark. Oh my God, there's sharks. They're gonna bite us all.
Right.
And then they just had that tournament. Well, whatever.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a.
What do you think about that thing? I don't just happen here.
Bro, yeah. So, if you know what we're talking about, the
alligator thing.
Well, no, shark killing.
Shark. Okay.
Yeah. So right now it's actually alligator hunting season right now too. But there just was, which is done every year. We can talk about that. But the shark killing one is really bad because sharks are globally imperiled, and off of Jupiter we have a hot spot for sharks. It's where the Gulf Stream takes a turn right there, and so it's a really high frequency area for sharks. It's awesome. So then people are like, oh, there's too many sharks here. It's like, bro, you're going to the nightclub and saying there's too many people.
Yeah.
Don't go there. Like, that's their hot spot, but then you're like, oh, there's too many. We need to kill them, not realizing they're all coming there from the surrounding, like, let's say the nightclub analogy, from the surrounding city. They don't all, like, live there year round. They're coming in, like, there are some residents, yeah, but, like, anyway, so they killed off a ton of sharks over there, and it's just really, really bad management, you know. And it's what it really is local government caving into special interests of people who just want to go shark fishing, and you know, it's the money behind it too. You know, people want to do this like this micro penis ego boosting crap where they're like, I want to kill a tough animal so I feel better about my small dick. Like,
yeah, no, it really is true.
Yeah, dude, I hate it.
Because you have a fucking gun, right? Because you have a gun. Or a knife,
and
or whatever.
we regularly see sharks with bullet holes in them.
Wow.
Yeah, thankfully bullets slow down a lot in water, thank God. But yeah, you'll see them with bullet holes.
So what do you think then about, just as interesting to me,
Yeah.
because like,
hell yeah.
I'm from Pennsylvania originally, right? And, you know, family deer hunters, right? You know, killed deer, ate deer.
Yeah.
Down here, it's gators, right? There's gator season. What's your thoughts or your, you know, they say overpopulation is always used. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so all this comes down to what species are we talking about and what hard data do you have? Okay, so with deer, there's an overpopulation of deer as a fact because we killed off all the predators. We got rid of all the cougars, you know, the wolves, the mountain lions, and all this kind of stuff. And so without them, the deer population goes way out of control. Okay, so we do have to manage deer populations in lieu of predators. Okay, so if we got rid of them, we got to do something about that, right? Now, what about the predators itself? Well, predator populations naturally rise and fall with their prey populations. And so, like, if there's not a lot of prey, some of the predators are going to die off. And it goes up and down and up and down. But they're the top of the food chain. The top of the food chain controls the food chain. You know, you don't have to kill them off. They're rising and falling naturally with the prey. Okay?
I don't understand how people don't understand that.
Well,
it's
because
the fucking food chain.
Because they can make money on it.
Yeah, it's all about money.
And so because it is an accurate argument to say that deer population control is necessary, because that is true. We do have to do that. We have to kill deer because there's too many of them, and it's good for their population to kill some of them because we got rid of the predators. So you can say that's a factual thing. We know this to be true. Oh, well, we're going to say the same thing about this animal over here without any data supporting it, but because people know this is real, they're going to believe this is real too. You know, so then they just use that as an excuse, you know, and that way they can go kill them, get their ego fixed, and make money on it. You know, alligator tags are $500 a person.
Wow.
Like, now, the thing with that, though, is that the alligator hunting is sustainable because they do have biologists monitoring the population who are saying, like, okay, you can hunt in this specific area and you can get this many gators and it's not going to affect the population. So there is proper study being done there. So, like, as much as I don't like the alligator hunt personally, and I think it's just, again, it's a bunch of dudes with small dicks.
Agreed.
It's okay. Okay. You know, like, not okay, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not, like, the shark thing is a problem. Like,
yeah.
Those sharks are moving around. You don't know where they're going, and like it's not properly being managed. The gator hunt is being managed in a way that, like, I don't like it, but it is being managed properly. All right. Now the excuse of population control, I think, is just crap. But there are enough alligators. They're stable enough that they, you know, whatever, it can be done. You know. But with the sharks, especially sharks like hammerheads. Bro, in 100 years, we might not even have hammerheads.
They're beautiful.
You know, in 100 years, if we stay the same, alligators are going to be here. We're okay on alligators. You know, they were endangered, now they're not. So that's why, like, the hunt is okay. But with the hammerheads, there's absolutely no situation where somebody should be killing a hammerhead right now. Like, their populations are so low globally. And because they move throughout the whole friggin' ocean, like, you know, you're killing one just because it's here. You don't know where his breeding grounds are. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know who's going to kill them further down the line. You're just saying, oh, there's a lot of them right here, right now, because you're in a hotspot for them, you know?
And they're not doing anything about that? They're not actually...
Well, they just allowed this to happen.
Yeah, it just happened in Jupiter.
Yeah, they just allowed this.
They had, like...
And they're not enforcing...
Well, it's kind of like, it's like a sport,
it.
like, if they call it sport fishing tournament, right? And it was kind of crazy. You saw, like, there was a drone shot. And like he said, these guys, like, you know, celebrating over this dead shark body and then, like, looking up at the camera and, like, going like
like, flicking them off.
Come on, man.
Why is that cool?
Dude. And, like, so in this, they were not supposed to kill hammerheads. So, like, there's, like, footage from some of the meetings of them being like, now, if you do get one, make sure you put some cinder blocks in it and sink it down so they don't find the bodies. Like, they recorded people saying this, you know, like, so, like, they try to do it in, like, a management way of, like, don't kill the hammerhead. So, like, hey, look, guys, we did our job. You're not supposed to kill the hammerhead. They're still doing it. Well, you're going to tell them not to bite the hook? How do you decide who's biting your hook? And the thing with hammerheads is they're really susceptible to stress. So even just the stress of bringing one up, there is no catch and release with hammerheads. Just the stress of bringing it up can cause them to die.
What, do they have, a heart attack? Or
yeah.
They just...
Yeah, build up lactic acid. Yeah, it's really bad. So, like, that's why even, and I've worked on shark research where we're catching sharks on hook and line to bring them in, to measure them, and we have everything down to a science to work them as quickly as possible, and they still have hammerhead mortalities for scientists who are trying to save them, because that's the only way they know how to get the data right now. There's not a better system, unfortunately. So
Like,
there is,
you have to do it.
yeah, it's screwed. Like there is some loss in this thing. So, but anyways, though, even under the best situations, hammerheads still die. So you mean to tell me that, you know, Bobby Joe out there in his fishing boat isn't going to kill some hammerheads too, accidentally?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Once
saying.
one does it, then the next 10 do it.
Yeah, so and just like there's just no sustainability in this shark killing thing. Like, you know, it's a whole ocean out there. We don't know their movements. We don't know what the heck they're doing out there. So like it's a big issue. Like that's not sustainable. That shouldn't be being done.
How dangerous are like great white sharks? You always hear about that.
I got a shot of one in there.
Is there?
Yeah,
I can't open it back up. The Face ID thing
sorry.
came on. That I was wondering that too, because like, you know, Jaws. Of
Yeah,
course,
Jaws.
right?
Yeah,
Those
everyone knows
right?
Jaws.
But you do think like a great white, like other sharks. Like I said, I've been there. You could jump in, right? They're looking around. They're not really doing anything. Great white, I feel, is like one of those that would be just like, I'm gonna come up and eat your ass. Like, is that
Right.
Is that
So we come back to this idea, again, perception, right? So
perception? Yeah.
if you are in murky water where seals live, bro, you're lunch. All right.
Seals are pretty fucking cool too.
Yeah, no, seals are cool, but I mean, great whites love to eat
Yeah,
seals.
yeah.
So if you're in
I
murky, great whites think they're cool.
just feel
too.
bad for them with the whiskers and shit. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
See ya.
So, but if you're the swimmer in murky water where seals are and great whites hunt there, yeah, you're gonna get munched, dude. You know, like that's a really bad thing. Now, is that because he's hunting humans? No, you know what I mean. But like, the thing so there's one of my shots of a great
That's
white.
amazing.
That's a hell of a shot, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's a wide angle lens too, so like he's like within reach.
And where was this?
So that was Guadalupe, Mexico.
And they're prevalent there. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
them?
like the spot, man. Whenever you see anything Shark Week with great whites and the water looks any remotely close to this kind of blue, everything's done at Guadalupe. And so there's diving vessels. You go out there. I was on one of them, and it's anybody can go out there. It's a lot of fun. I was out there. Now they do it cage diving and everything, so they don't let you. So I just slipped the guy an extra $1,000 and went outside the cage.
I would have done the
So I got to go outside the cage and everything. It was awesome, dude. But
Again, his balls are just getting bigger.
God damn. We got the smallest balls in the room.
Right.
but yeah. So my thing, a big thing you hear me say a lot is like people thinking extremes. Whether we're talking politics, animals, whatever we're talking about, people think extremes and never be in the extreme. And with animals, that's bloodthirsty killing machine. Perfectly tame puppy won't hurt me. Both those people are idiots. Neither one of those things are real. Reality's more in the middle. He's not out to get you. He's not a bloodthirsty killing machine. But if you act a fool, he will kill you. Don't
Just
think
like
twice.
if you kick a dog enough, it
Yeah.
doesn't know how big it is.
Yeah,
It will bite you.
it's just
At least your ankles.
yeah. It just
That would
sucks.
just fucking eat you.
Yeah. Well, it just sucks that a lot of animal advocates just they get pushed to that extreme by their own animal group, you know, and then eventually you hear them, oh, no, the sharks don't want to hurt you. And, I mean, well, they don't want to hurt you. You're not their natural prey. But then you start being like, oh, they're like puppies. They're not going to bite you. Like, yeah, they will, dude. I've had sharks try to legitimately eat me multiple times. Like, no doubt about it. He's trying to kill and eat me.
Have you ever
bit by
gotten
one?
bit?
Yeah.
No, thankfully, no.
You never got bit? Not
No,
once?
no.
Wow.
I don't want to, man. I know one dude who he got nailed by a tiger in the hand, and he's got like a claw. Like, yeah, it got him real bad.
You ever get bit by a snake?
I've had a lot of non-venomous snake bites. You know,
Not a venomous.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I've had some incidents. I'm not not even gonna get into, but thankfully I'm here. I'm alive. Let's
you're
put it that
still
way.
Oh my God.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh yeah, so that's a lemon shark, and I got him by the nose right there.
See, I think that fish right there, just hanging out with them, I think that's so cool. Like they just hang
Yeah.
out and shit.
Yeah, and they're coming in for, you know, so that we're getting the sharks on bait, so it's a baited dive, so they are coming in for the bait, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool too is once there's no more bait, they leave.
Those
You
are
know-
the two I want to see: a lemon shark and a hammerhead. I haven't seen those. I've seen
Oh no,
little sharks.
no, the lemons are real easy too. Off
Yeah?
of Jupiter, yeah,
Haven't seen one.
yeah, the lemons are real easy. Hammers are, I mean,
Seasonal or no?
you could get lemons year round. They are better seasonally, and then the hammers are definitely more reliably seasonally.
Yeah.
So I've seen, I don't know, like 3 or 4 hammers this year.
Really?
You know,
Fuck, that's the one I wanted. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's top of my list.
yeah,
Not great white, no, but hammerhead's up there.
yeah, yeah. I can take you out.
Yeah,
we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Get you out there, and we'll target specifically hammers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having pretty good luck with them.
I'll be up for that soon.
Hell yeah.
Let me know.
Me
We'll figure
too.
something out.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, when you're in this water like this, you know, because a lot of a lot of parts of the ocean we can't see. Do you think there's cities down there? There was full-blown cities, towns, everything, and then ice age, asteroid, whatever may have hit, just wiped it out and turned into ocean?
Yeah.
Because like we were talking earlier, when you look on the map, the ocean was at different places, land was at different. I mean, everything's different.
Yeah. So one, I go diving for megalodon teeth, right? The fossilized megalodon teeth. It's super cool. But you can go like miles offshore in the Gulf side of Florida, and you can find megalodon teeth, and it's really cool. You also find like trees.
Trees.
Because Florida used to extend another 200 miles
Oh, yeah.
out during the Ice Age.
Yeah.
And so like people were out there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so could there have been civilizations out there that are now underwater? Absolutely. You know? So like
There's some area though. It's not Florida. There's some area where they think there's like massive.
well, there's the supposed possible Atlantis.
The Atlantis.
Oh,
yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
the Atlantis.
So that's one that they did talk about with like that whole Younger Dryas impact, that they think that they might have found what was considered maybe to be Atlantis that was lost in an asteroid strike like that, you know? And like I think, man, I'm gonna butcher this too, but I think it was supposed to be like on an archipelago and an asteroid hit and just like volcanic eruptions, the whole 9
the
yards.
whole thing can't. Yeah.
Bro, everything just got screwed, and that civilization went underwater with it, and they think that's what it was.
It kind of makes. Do you believe that?
If there's enough evidence, yeah, I could see it being possible. I don't know enough to say whether it's true or not, you know, but like it makes sense like that. When you explain it like that, and you're like, now, do I believe like Atlantis, like freaking merman? No.
Right.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
But do I believe there could have been ancient civilization?
Yeah, that maybe
just
had roads and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then an impact hit, and
That was it.
Yeah, whole thing went,
And
man.
water.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we have your website here.
Yeah.
I want to go through this because this is just so cool. Take us through all this. This is awesome.
Yeah. So this is talking about my tours right there. So I do these underwater gator tours, which are really cool and awesome. So that's Casper the alligator right there, and he's an alligator I've been working with for like going on 15 years now. He's super chill. He's extremely well trained, and I have people come in and get in the water, and they're behind a safety net. You can see right there in the photo. And
You
yes,
didn't use my picture. Use that girl for some reason.
well, that's because that's my girlfriend.
All right.
She kind of gets some privileges. But so I do the tour like that. It's really awesome. It's a really cool, unique experience, man.
Go to tours, Rob.
Yep.
How long do they actually, like, what's the average lifespan?
So some records claim over 100.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
the crazy thing is we don't really know. And as crazy as that sounds, like we really don't know how old they actually get, because if they live over 100, that means and there's no
We're
way to tell
dead.
their age. Is what I'm getting. There's no way to tell their age by just looking at one. So we look at Casper there. I don't know how old he is. There's no diagnostic. There's no way to figure it out.
None.
So their size has to do with diet and environmental factors, not on how old they are. He could be 25. He could be 85. They're both perfectly valid guesses because you cannot tell, right? So it's just crazy. So in order to know how old he is, you have to know when he hatched out of the egg. So how would we know that? We do marker capture studies. That's one of the ones one of the research projects I've worked on. We go out in the Everglades. It's so cool, man. We'll leave at 4 p.m. We come back 10 a.m. next day.
Congratulations. That's pretty cool.
It's so much fun, man.
And you probably learn a ton.
Yeah, and you're just out there all night just catching alligators. And then we'll mark them and release them, you know, and measure them and all that kind of stuff. So you'd have to have that project ongoing for over 100 years, which it has not been. Or you'd have to have captive care of an alligator from 100 years ago. You have to know when he was born. We have to have some sort of clear record. We know this gator was hatched out of the egg at this time, and now it's this many years old.
And outlive them.
Right. So the problem that we run into is nobody's been doing those marker capture studies that long, and nobody's had proper captive care that long. 100 years ago, we didn't know how to even take care of people, much less alligators. So the oldest alligator actually verified was, they call him Hitler's alligator, and it just died a couple years ago. It was 83. And so, yeah, it wasn't actually Hitler's, but Hitler would go and like hang out with this gator, and it was in Germany. And he would go and sit there and watch it and whatever. And it survived multiple bombings, everything like that, survived the war, and it survived living in Germany. You want to talk about like, that's not exactly prime real estate for a cold-blooded animal, you know?
Yeah.
So for an alligator in Germany, let's just go ahead and say he did not have the right environment for a full lifespan.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
And he still made it to 85.
and he still made it to
83.
80 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the oldest one verified. Now, we have some people that claim 100, 150, 200. People say that, but, you know, it's not, we don't know if there's
It's
people.
impossible to tell.
Right. So we'd have to have a verified one, like this individual that we know was in captivity, the same individual for that long.
I'm surprised Mike Tyson didn't get an alligator. Yeah. He's had everything else.
Bro, I know. I'm trying to get him to come and do the tour. I've talked to a couple people.
I tried to get him. We tried to get him. I drove up to get him, broke my windshield. He ran out of weed.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we went up to Clearwater to try to talk to him. Yeah.
Wait, he broke your windshield?
No. No.
Could be, right?
Broke my windshield.
You know, he got my weed.
I think you fucking break the car.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But he's had like every animal in the world.
Yeah,
he's smart as fuck.
Yeah, and I know he loves animals. And I've talked to a few people that run in his circle, and I'm trying to get them to like tell
That'd be awesome.
Come do the tour.
Yeah, dude, he's huge in animals. He's had tigers and everything you can imagine. And he's very, very, very intelligent.
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, I've heard him talk like on Rogan, and he's so well read. I had no idea.
And to be hit the way he hit, but with the throws that he gave them.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. Right.
Well, they hit his head down though. But yeah, go to the programs.
Yeah, so I used, man, it's kind of cool you're showing this because I used to do a lot of these talks. I think you have to click it and then do the drop down for the program thing. Yeah, so like that kind of stuff.
This is just so cool, Chris. That's why I want to go through it.
Yeah. So pre-COVID, I used to do a lot of talks. I go to universities and give lectures, guest lectures, animal behavior conferences. Right before COVID, I was at it was called SICA. It was in Mexico City. It was a big animal behavior conference with all these like super huge experts in like dog training and stuff like that. And they had me speaking about alligator training.
He goes to a dog speaking expo.
It was cool. Man.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So now, if I say somebody wants to book a tour, do you have to book ahead out? Like, how do you go about it?
Right. So you just go on to the tours tab right there, and there's a big red button, and it'll say book now, and you can book right there. Yeah, click here to book on the right. So you can actually book right through that and sign up for the tour. We only book 3 months in advance, as in out that far, just because I'm traveling. I got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But you can book as soon as like within a couple of days. We just need like at least like I think it's 2 days notice just to make sure we got everything cleaned up and ready. But it's really cool.
So awesome.
Yeah. It was, dude, I'm telling you, when I did it, I was nervous and then got in there and
hopefully we continue doing it.
Was awesome. Yeah,
cool. Play one of those videos, Rob. Play the alligator.
Right here?
Yeah, either one. He got sunglasses on the fucking alligator.
Yeah.
You see it, Rob? Jeez, talk about balls. Who cares? You can play it.
Hold on. Let me pull it up here.
There you go.
Oh, shit.
That's him bellowing.
What's that called? Bellowing?
Yeah, bellowing. Yeah, so that's basically like
that sounds scary as shit.
Yeah, so a lot of people hear that like, what does that mean? Does that mean he's like angry? He's hungry? I'm like, nah, bro.
Play the one with the sunglasses on and blow it up. I want to see this. Yeah. How'd you get sunglasses on, Chris?
I just like taking my. I do it all the time.
Yeah. How fucking cool that is.
Yeah. So this one, it was just funny because I have him like. Swim up with the sunglasses.
Oh, wow. So if you're listening right now, Chris is in the water with an alligator trying to put glasses on him. So when you get home, watch this. What the fuck? That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
See, it just goes to show, they're not out to, destroy the world.
Yeah, they're not mindless killers, I mean, will he kill you? Yeah, if you do something stupid, but like he's not like a mindless killing machine, and like that's what I'm trying to get across to people. It's just like you gotta walk that middle line. Like they're not puppies. He's not my pet, but he's not out to get you.
What's your favorite animal?
Probably the gators and crocs.
I mean, forget the gators and that.
Oh,
aside
without
from
them?
that, yeah.
Probably the sharks.
The sharks.
I love sharks. Yeah. If I wasn't doing gators, I think I'd be doing the sharks. It's like my full-time thing.
Did you swim with whales?
So I've swam with pilot whales, which is more like a dolphin. I got in the water with an orca in Norway. So that was really cool, but it was very brief.
And they have their own language and everything.
Yeah,
right?
They're incredible. That was a crazy trip too.
Yeah, could you tell me a little bit about hanging out with them?
Well, it was very
just
brief.
Seeing them.
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, it was super brief for me. Because like it was this crazy trip to Norway, and we got snowed in, and it just like ruined the whole trip. And almost every day we couldn't go out. And then finally, like the last day, and the guy's like, "Oh no, it's too much snow. We can't go out." And I'm like, "You're taking me out, or I'm gonna kick your ass."
I'm getting that.
Yeah, I'm going out there. You're not stopping me, you know. So we got out there, and then here comes an orca, and we're supposed to wait for everybody like, "Okay, get ready." I'm like, I just went. So I got in the water with him. It was brief, but it was still really, really cool.
I would love to just swim with them and hear them talk to each other.
I know,
move
yeah.
around.
I want to do it again and spend more time with them because, again, it was a very brief experience, but it was really cool. They're immensely huge.
What's the best place to go to swim with them?
So, well, Norway was considered the best at the time, but now off of Mexico, there's certain spots where they're showing up very reliably. And over there, I mean, it's off of Mexico, so it's much more temperate. You know, you're not. I was literally scraping ice off my mask before getting in the water out there. It was miserable. So out here off of Mexico, I haven't done this one yet, but it's way more warm. Much more clear water. It's just all around better in every way.
That is gonna be so cool.
I want to do that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, your Instagram's off.
Yeah, it's
off the chain.
Sick as shit.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been blowing up this week, man. It is wild.
Good for you, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So, did you see this one on the left right there?
Right here?
Yeah, this video.
Nope.
Click that.
Yeah, I posted that one this morning. This one's pretty gnarly
I'll put the volume up.
because he's not a nice gator.
Oh, he's not a nice one.
No. I'm getting them there. He's relatively new from the wild. So this is like a month or two from the wild. And so, yeah, like he'll bite you. That's what I'm trying to say.
You got balls, man.
Yeah, so this is like full on, like he will get you.
Because he's been creeping up and trying to see if he could eat me. So he's relatively new from the wild. Here, I'm building up that hiss right there. Let's just go ahead and close that. Oof.
Yeah.
So he's relatively new from the wild.
And he does this hard shake right here too, man. Like, that's a good way to get chucked right there. Like he almost threw me on that one.
From the wild in here with us. And so,
because when you're holding the jaws like that, he shakes like that, he's trying to pop your grip and bite you in the hand.
But he's just scared.
Yes and no. So that's what I'm saying is like, so he's from the wild. When they first come in, they're just scared. And so he's just afraid, so he's being defensive. And then in this specific alligator's case, he's been here for like a month or two, so he's starting to figure out like, I'm not a threat, he's not afraid of me. And then he's like, I'm not afraid of you. Can I eat you? And then so he kept on trying to come up behind me and grab me in the leg.
I can't believe you just picked that fucker
God,
up like
dude.
that.
Yeah.
How much does he weigh?
And he slapped you in the head with his
give or
tail.
take.
Probably
give or
like,
take.
I don't know, like 150, 170, something like that.
That's your workout, man, right there.
Yeah.
How's that tail feel when that hits you?
Oh,
in the
yeah.
fucking head? I saw it just whack you right there.
Yeah, no, it can really hurt. The worst is if he slap. The worst is if they swing it around this way and it wraps all the way around and just taps you.
Oh, with all that power?
That'll
my
drop you, man. But yeah, so yeah, in his case though, he was starting to try to test me out to see if he could come and get me. You know, so that's why I'm like, I got to start handling this guy because he wants to eat me.
You got such cool shit. Keep going down, Rob, and then we'll come back to it a little bit later.
Yeah, it's amazing shot. I did just the shots. I love the tight, like right this one. I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Click on that one, man.
Yeah, so that's Macho right there.
Macho, you're trying to eat George. Macho.
So I got George, my camera guy, and they all want to eat him every time. They're always trying to creep up and get him.
All right, you guys are all going to eat an F today. Macho, come here. Macho. There you go.
Now, what'd you just feed him?
A little piece of chicken.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I just dice up smaller pieces.
Snoopy,
That's funny. I like how you name them all.
come here.
Yeah. Well, they're all named and they know their names.
They know.
Yeah, I
their
was
name.
gonna
You
ask
called him
that. They do
Snoopy.
know their name.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just called him Snoopy.
I know, but I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, so absolutely, there's no doubt about it. They know their names. Now they try to cheat all the time, though. We're like,
they want 2 pieces. Right?
yeah, or like you say Snoopy and Zilla turns around like, I mean, you're gonna feed me, you know. So they definitely try to push it and figure it out, you know. But like, there's no doubt about it. Like when I got them on point, you'll see like I can say one name, one alligator comes, the other ones don't even move, you know. But then on other days they're like, I'm gonna see what I can get away with, you know.
Now you're doing all this stuff. How does the Animal Planet thing happen? Do they contact you? Email? How does that whole thing even just start?
Right. So that came about. The guy I work with, Paul, he sent in videos to Animal Planet, and he like pitched a show to them. And then they picked it up. But there's only so much I could say.
Yeah, sure. I understand.
You know, yeah. There's definitely only so much I could say because like you have to sign all these papers.
Yeah.
And all this crap.
We've had a lot of people until they got it's not like, like a non-disclosure.
Yeah,
like
NDAs.
A non-disclosure, the paperwork that some of these guys that have had to sign that they showed me off camera, it's like fucking.
Yeah.
You need a $50,000 lawyer to read all that.
Yeah, dude. And so, I worked on a lot of TV. I've gone on Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, Travel Channel, CNN, NBC, E! My personal favorite, The Weather Channel. I love throwing that one in. But so I've done a lot of TV, and so I'm going to speak in very general, broad terms, not about any specific show, because obviously I had to sign all these NDAs and whatnot. But I've worked on enough shows that I can speak in broad strokes, not about any specific show. But my God, do I hate working in TV. And that's why I love social media. Like, I get to show what I want to show on social media. And I've worked on a lot of these shows that portray themselves as quote-unquote reality. And they literally, and I do mean literally, hand you a script to read.
I was going to ask you that.
Verbatim.
I have it right here.
But they hand you a script to read verbatim, and then they put it on TV as reality. And I've lost jobs because of it. I've had actual real-world jobs endangered because I've been on shows where I'm made to look like a fool when I'm like, and I tell them like, yeah, but I'm literally reading a script. And like, no, that's reality TV. It's real. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's all fake, dude.
I wish these fucking women knew that.
Yeah.
Dude, I argue with my girlfriend all the time.
Oh, the ID channel?
Yeah, dude, she loves like Housewives and all that stuff.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's 100%
She went to the
scripted.
TLC? The TLC channel yet?
I don't know what I don't.
Just pride.
I go in the other room, to be honest with you.
I do too.
Bro, I'm like, I can't. Like, it makes me crazy. But what I tell people is any show you're watching, if anybody walks into the scene, it's fake.
Camera's already there.
How does the camera know where to be? Unless they're walking, they're running backwards like cop style with the bouncing cam. That's real. But like if they're walking in the scene, or my favorite is on animal shows when they show up to a house for, we have an animal call at this address. And they show up and the camera's already inside the dude's house filming over the homeowner's shoulder. And they're like, hi, nice to meet you. Really? You're meeting for the first time? You just have a camera crew living in your living room?
Right. And then you got 3 other cameras on the other side for the outside view.
Oh,
right?
they're in my house all the time. This is normal for me. Welcome.
Yeah, people don't realize.
Makes me crazy, dude. So, like, I mean, I've walked right off of, again, not to be specific, I've walked right off the set of shows, very successful shows, lots of money, just to maintain my integrity, where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is all literally lies.
But that's what makes you you. You have integrity because you can't be bought.
Yeah. I thank you.
I mean, sure, we'll all take some money, but
yeah, I mean, hey, man,
ain't maybe enough. maybe enough. We'll read the script a few times.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did enough of it for a while, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So that's why, like, now, people tell me all the time, like, I get hit up by producers for TV shows all the time, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm doing my social media. I'm getting successful at that. It's finally growing to a point where like it's getting big enough that like you
can do it.
I can do whatever I want. I can turn down TV shows now because before it was like, oh man, I could really use that money. And now I'm like, man, it's not worth it.
Now you got the social media. You got.
I got my tours.
You got your tours, the
Yeah.
courses. I mean, I'm taking them.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm already sold, and I'm sitting right across from you.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just like I've gotten to be self-made enough that I don't need these people, And to me, that's a huge point of pride because I have been on shows and done stupid and said stupid things that like I regret 100% to this day. I've done stuff 10 years ago where I'm just like, God, man, why did I do that? And you just like beat yourself up about it. Now I'm like, I never have to do any of that crap again. Like I'm self-made enough,
So like when such and such channel calls and says, hey, Chris, come on, and you say, okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
How does that work? They fly you there? Like, do they pay you up front? Do they pay you at the end?
It depends. Like,
just curious how it works.
It's
just generally speaking.
Yeah, it totally depends. Like, the most recent one I just did, I was just on Fox News for America's Newsroom, and they called me up for that, and I had no idea what was going to happen. And that was like totally real. Like, I had no idea what was going to happen. They put me in a room with a green screen and a little headset, and they're like, "Bam, you're live." And I'm like, "Whoa!" So that was pretty cool, So that was like real though, But that was the most recent one I did. But I've done other ones where like,
was that the one with Bill Hammer?
Yeah.
But I've been watching Bill Hammer since 1992.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I put it right there.
Yeah,
that's why I put the picture there. I've been watching him forever.
Cool. Yeah, it was cool, man. It was pretty surreal. He was really nice, I wish I got to meet him actually. I was here, he was like in New York, I think. So there's like a lag in the interview.
So that's just the green screen right behind you.
Yeah. That's what's so funny is I'm just in there, and then when I saw it on TV, I'm like, oh, wow, that's where I was?
I always wondered that because, especially on Fox, they make it look really real.
It looks real, right? Like they really match the lighting well, too.
really well.
Did a good job on that.
And when they do, like, sometimes they'll do it where it looks like somebody's in a studio with like a glass table and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like a rented room, right?
Yeah, this was a random, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I didn't sign anything, so whatever, it doesn't matter. I didn't sign anything.
No, it's just they just set up a studio in different states and you go in, right?
Yeah. So it was really cool though. That was fun. That was cool to do. But then I've done, other shows where I've done shows in different countries, and I gotta think of like how to say it where I'm not gonna get in trouble, you know what I mean? But like I've done ones where like you don't know anybody, you don't know anything, you sign stuff online, whatever, and then you show up in another country, you meet everybody for the first time, and everything they told you on the Skype interviews for your whole setup,
all bullshit,
100% lies. Like lies, like I'm not allowed to say it. God,
don't.
Bro.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, like.
Yeah, you can tell me later. Yeah, but don't.
Blow your mind. Like, unbelievable. Like, people almost died is how bad it was because of people lying and people being idiots and incompetent. I saved one guy's life. Like, I mean, legitimately saved his life. Like, so unbelievably bad. But anyways, moving on. Sorry.
Yeah, I could tell you're happy to be out of that.
I get heated, dude. Yeah. I get heated. Like, especially when, like, people almost died. We had to airlift one guy out. Like, it was bad.
And they just act like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. We got to make money. Hey,
ratings,
we
baby.
rented
Ratings.
it.
Ratings.
Yeah,
Bro,
ratings.
On one of them, like, nobody knew each other, and we show up, and, like, we're going to do this scene, like, in the water and everything, and I'm looking at the water, and I'm like, bro, that's, like, this is really dangerous water. I'm a free diver. Like, I'm a scuba diver and free diver. I'm a certified rescue diver. Like, these are some of the things I do. And, like, free diving, like, I hold my breath over 3 minutes. I can go down 80 feet on one breath of air. Like, I know water, okay? And we go and we show up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, guys, this is really dangerous. The water's really kicking. They're like, no, it's fine. We had a safety guy here 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, exactly what I said. I'm like, 2 weeks ago. You realize water changes by the hour, by the minutes. You know, you can have the same exact river system an hour from now be completely, like...
the stupidest answer ever.
Unbelievable,
2 weeks
man.
The weather changes every 2 minutes.
Dude.
Does this guy not know it's the fucking ocean?
Well, so here's the thing. So I say that...
And he has that job?
And I say that, and they tell me it'll be fine. We had a safety guy, and I'm like, guys, no, like this is a bad idea. And they tell me don't be a pussy, and I'm like, you're gonna tell me that to me? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, correct. And you'd be the last
hey,
person.
motherfucker.
And I literally was like, I literally said right to his face, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, out of this group of people, I'm not gonna be the one who dies today. I can promise you that. I will live through this. You people might not, but I will. And two of the guys almost died. You know, I dragged one of them to shore. You know, he was going into shock. He was going to die.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, people don't listen, man. You know, it's, Anyways.
Now, last thing, when they do that reality TV shit, like they say, hey, Chris, I was watching some of it last night, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's scripted, because I watched your real shit.
Yeah.
So I could tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know,
right?
Compare the two, it's like, I don't think that snake just happened to walk up just out of the middle of nowhere and come by, and an alligator just happens to be right there, and you dive in to get it.
I've worked on the camera and behind the camera. I've been the guy in the bushes with the snake and like, okay, they're coming, let the snake go. And it's literally like, oh my God, look, guys, and they jump out and grab it. Yeah, like I've been that guy. Like I've done both sides.
And when they do that, whatever channel it is, do you have to do multiple takes with shit like that? Like when you're dealing with animals
dangerous
like
stuff,
this?
Yeah. So I've seen, again, I got to be like careful how I say it. You know, I have seen situations.
From what you know.
What I've witnessed where producers ask you to do something.
Trying to help you out.
Again. Well, I'm not going to say what animals, what people. So that's why, like, I'm gonna. Yeah. I have seen producers tell somebody to repeatedly do something because they didn't get the shot when they definitely did, and they're trying to get the guy hurt. They're trying to get that guy bit by that animal, and they tell you, "Oh no, we weren't recording. Do it again." Because they're waiting for you to get hit.
They want the ratings.
Yep, they want you to get bit, and they want you to do it again and again and again. We didn't get a good angle. Oh, he didn't hit record. And they're just trying to get you hurt so they can film it.
Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I believe it.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, man, I've been there.
And it's on all that reality TV shit.
Yeah, man.
Even with the Kardashians and all
Dude,
that, that's where it's all starting.
Well, talking about that, along those lines, I've worked on animal shows that are about animals, and they go up to you, and they're like, oh, did you know that Chris said that you da-da-da-da-da-da? And they come and they tell me, oh, did you know he said this about you? Da-da-da-da. And they tell completely fictitious stuff, and they tell us so that we're mad at each other, and they think that, like, you did this, I think you did that, and we get in a fight about a false pretense that the producer made up. They completely fabricate it on animal shows. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we know they do that for Kardashians, you know,
Yeah.
Kardashians, whatever. But like on animal shows, I've had that happen, and they're just telling lies to people so they start stuff, man.
So crazy.
Like it's supposed to be an animal show.
I mean, I guess you could see it like when a Kardashian or whatever. I don't know. I don't watch any of those shows. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever they are, you do it for the drama, but not with animals.
Yeah, dude.
Not with the shit that you're messing with.
Yeah.
It's not like you're messing with a cat,
Yeah,
right? Or like a guinea pig on a fucking wheel.
like life and death animal situations, and they're lying to you to get you to get in an argument with somebody and get in a fight with them.
Christ.
Yeah.
Wow. What was all the countries you've been to, especially the Amazon? How was the Amazon?
Yeah, so I do that trip every year, actually. So I run a trip. It's open to the public. If anybody wants to go, you can come with me. I run it as like a tour, you know?
You should do it.
That's pretty sick, man.
Yeah, it's hardcore, though. I'm going to tell you right now. It is a hard trip. We hike about 10 miles a day. There's no resort. There's no AC. We stay at a research station. So it's basically like camping. And we're doing like 10 miles a day hiking in the Amazon rainforest. It is hot, bugs, humid. Get back, sleep on a cot. And you're just sweating. You never stop sweating. I've had my clothes start growing fungus because you're never dry. Like, it is a hardcore trip, but it's a lot of fun. And we're just there looking for snakes and frogs and caiman, which is like their alligator, it's a lot of fun.
But see, for me, it would be like one of those things, even though it'd be sweat,
Once in a
hiking
lifetime,
like
man.
hell, it's like you put it on the thing. Yeah, I was at the Amazon.
Called
Yeah.
bucket list.
Bucket
Yeah.
list. Yeah, bucket list.
Well,
but I think that was De Niro, and I hate De Niro.
Yeah.
Him and I don't get along.
Oh, no?
Nah.
No?
No.
Can't say?
No.
Oh, yeah. All right.
One of those things.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the Amazon thing, though, is cool. It's crazy, too, because I get people, and like they go, and I tell them beforehand. And just to get to the research station, we do like multiple like boat rides for like an hour, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. And then we have to hike like 45 minutes into the station. And then you get to camp, and everybody's like, this is it? Like, this is where I'm going to spend the next 10 days? I'm like, yeah, bro, this is it. Welcome. And they're like, there's nothing here. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the research station.
The last one that you did when you got to the station, how many people were looking for their phone or going nuts?
Oh, yeah,
without
nothing
their
works.
phone?
Nothing works.
But they were probably going.
Oh,
nuts,
yeah.
right?
And you get like phantom rings.
I would hike the 10 miles just to see that.
Dude.
Just to see them try to use that fucking phone. And it doesn't
Yeah,
work.
yeah. And then like you think it's in your pocket, you feel it vibrate, and it's not there. You're not getting anything, like, and you still think it's there. You like check your phone, and you'll see it when we go to sit down. Like after a hike, everybody sits down. We're sitting there, and everybody pulls their phone out, and they're like, wait, I can't.
That's so cool.
It's such a habit for us. Like, we just pull out our phones every time there's downtime, and out there, like, no, it ain't working, bro. There's no reception. There's no AC. We only have power from a solar panel. Like,
I bet that goes on for what, 2-3 days, where every time they sit down, they're checking. And after 3 days, they're just like,
yeah, bro. Well, I did.
or they go home.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Has
people.
that happened before?
Well,
Nobody's left. I've had people towards the end because it's like a 10-day trip. So like day 8, people start falling apart. Like if you make it through the first part, and people start falling apart at the beginning sometimes, but some people make it through the first half, and then the back half, you really see people start falling apart. Like I did a month-long trip one time.
Are you crazy?
Bro, for me, I started losing my marbles after a month out there.
You start hallucinating?
No, but like, let me just put it this way. If there's a girl on the trip, you would never even look at them. End of the month, that's the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life. Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, it's funny though. Like I've been there. Like I distinctly remember doing a trip and like talking to my friend. And by the way, this is before I was running them. I was just there as a student back in the day. Now I run them. I'm like way more professional, obviously. So I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable if they're gonna go on one. But when I was young and I was dumb and I was like 18, and I'm on one of these trips. And I'm talking to my buddy, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, what do you think?" They're like, "Oh yeah, there's no hot girls on this trip, whatever." At the end of the trip, you're like, "Oh man, she's the most beautiful."
It's like
natural instincts or something is just
bro. After a month of seeing nothing but the same dudes and one girl, you're like, "That's the most beautiful woman. She's a goddess.
she's an angel."
Yeah,
She's
that's
an
how
angel.
you get.
She's from the Z planet or the Z galaxy.
Well, that's how you really understand how. When the explorers first came to America and you're on a ship for 6 months getting here with just dudes and you see your first manatee, you think it's a mermaid.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like if you were on a ship with just guys for 6 months and then you get here and you see a manatee and you're like, it was a mermaid. and she was beautiful.
The most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
You don't understand how crazy you can get. Like it's crazy, man.
When you go on these hikes, you can't really sleep, right? I mean, how long can a person go without sleep before they start getting cuckoo?
Oh man, so I sleep. I don't care. I can sleep. I can almost sleep standing up. You know, I mean, I haven't done that exactly, but I can sleep sitting in a chair like that.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah, dude,
you could just fall asleep.
I have to. Well, and you're so tired. You know, like if you're somebody that suffers from insomnia, things like that, come out here. You'll be fine. At the end of the day, I promise you will sleep. Because you're just so tired. You're so exhausted. You can't help but, go to sleep. Like, so basically, like the schedule we do is like you wake up, you have breakfast, and then we go hike until about lunch. Then we have lunch, and then we come back to camp, and then we usually have like a siesta and just hang out until dinner, play cards, just chill. Because after dinner, we're going to hike until like 2 or 3 in the morning.
I think that would be cool as shit.
It is. Well, that's the best part, So like the day hikes are grueling. It's so hot, and you don't see anything most of the time.
I'd be looking for 1,000 to give you to get out of the day hike, but what are you going to do with 1,000?
What are you seeing? Like, what type of things are you seeing on this trip?
Well, like during the day, you don't see much of anything. Yeah, I mean, you see monkeys.
Sweat.
Yeah, a lot of sweat, a lot of, but you see monkeys during the day. Sometimes we find some cool, like, diurnal snakes or lizard species, birds. But then at night is when everything comes out, So, like, the night's really where it's at. So we do the night hikes. That's where you find all the cool snakes, all the cool frogs come out, It's awesome. All these crazy invertebrates in the Amazon. When you're in the Amazon, you have all these like amblypygids. It's like this giant. It's like the Harry Potter spider thing with the big things like this. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are real.
It almost looks like I don't know not like a lobster, but kind of like a huge lobster.
Yep,
right?
kind of like that. Yeah. Actually, if you go on my photography site, it's just chrisgillette.com.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, we could pull up one of my Amazon trip albums, and you can see on there.
Yeah, I think that'd be so cool. Just so cool just to do that.
Yeah, it is.
Just be out there and just see, and then you're away from everything.
Well, let me tell you about this one girl that came out one time, and so she came on the trip, and at first she lived in Miami her whole life. She's never seen stars because the light pollution in Miami, right? So like she's never seen stars. She never left the city her whole life. Never been in the Everglades. Never been outside the city. Never seen stars. Never seen a fire bigger than a lighter. No, seriously, for real, like she'd never seen any of this stuff. So sheltered. She came on a trip, and at first I couldn't stand her. Like I wanted to kill her. She was so annoying, and just yeah, oh my god. And then at the end of the trip, we kind of became friends, and like she really opened her mind, and she like really had a good time. And then she came down again, and she was like in it and loving it. And then she moved to Cambodia and became an English teacher.
Wow.
Like. You went from the most sheltered and obnoxious person ever to doing this trip and just expanding your mind so much, and then coming again, and then you moved to Cambodia. Like, talk about get outside your comfort zone. Like, how cool is that?
That's awesome.
It's so cool.
So you got a girl that's sheltered, never even lit a fire, annoying as hell, probably doesn't shut up.
Yeah.
Right? Finally shut up after a couple of days of those hikes.
Yeah.
Came back again and ends up in Cambodia.
Yeah. And like, man, she's so cool now. Like now I know her. I'm like, dude, she's one of the coolest people I know, And at first, like, I hated her.
But, honey, do you remember how fucking annoying you used to be?
Yeah, it's super cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Whoa.
So yeah, any of those Amazon ones you could open up, or I mean anything you want to. But if you just wanted to see like the,
just tell me where we're at.
Yeah,
up at the top. If you go back up at the top, that Amazon right there. Yeah, you could click that one. So we got so that's a bushmaster. That's the largest viper species in the world.
Damn.
Yeah. So you can see the other pictures of me actually handling it. It's not that big of a bushmaster. They get much bigger, but it's still.
That looks pretty big to me.
It's a good size one. It's respectable.
And at nighttime too.
Yeah. So I mean that's in the wild.
Wow.
Catching them in the wild.
I love that picture.
Yeah. So that's a dwarf
cool.
caiman. The dwarf caiman are really cool.
Do you sell these?
Yeah.
People buy?
Yeah. People can buy any of these. Yeah.
Yeah. These are awesome. I'd like to. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, so there's a ton on here, dude. I got
that's a caiman, that thing.
Yeah. So it's underwater actually. It's an underwater shot of them.
So that's a gator or crocodile.
So it's actually the caiman are in the alligator family, even though they look more crockish. They're within the alligator family.
And that's its eye closed, or that's a
right.
covering.
So that's the nictitating membrane across the eye right there. You see that kind of hue on it.
is that just one layer? Do they have multiple layers or what?
So it's a third transparent eyelid. So they have the up and down eyelids, and then they have the third one that goes sideways across. So if you go to the third picture on the top right there, you can see the eye. One more over. Sorry, as it meant fourth. Yeah, that. So you see that's what the eye normally looks like without the membrane.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Now, how good is their vision? You said it's not that good, or it's okay?
It's pretty good. It's weird. So what I mean, it's impossible to understand what anybody else perceives. Is one of my favorite things to talk about, which I think you'll like too. It's trippy. You know, it's like, is this red? Are we seeing the same color? Or do I see what you would call blue, but I'm taught to say that it's red because we say it's red. But maybe I'm seeing a different color than you.
But the thing is, if you were taught that that's red, then you would believe it's red.
Exactly.
If I thought it was yellow, then we would go back and forth.
It's so cool, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, we don't know anyone else's perception without being in their mind, right? So in the case of any of the alligators, crocodiles, whatever, when I throw food next to their face, sometimes they miss it, and then it's right there, and then like it's right here, and he goes this way, or he like goes over here, and you're like, what are they, stupid? Like, no, he perceives things differently than we do. So like, and that leads people to think they have poor vision. I hear other experts are like, they have horrible vision based on things like that. But then when I'm out trying to catch one, he is way out there, and they see me coming. So I know they have good vision because he'll see me from across a huge pond and then go down. You know, I didn't even see him. I only see the disturbance as he goes under. So like he saw me from way far away. So obviously they have good vision, but they don't perceive the way we do.
Or would it make sense to say that like somebody if you throw it out in the wild, it's going to find it. But if it feels safe around you, it knows you're there, you know, I don't want it right now. Maybe I'll get it later.
Well, no, because when I'm working the ones I know, you know, at like the rescue ones, like they want it, you know, and they miss it, you know, and they do like
fucking weird.
It is, you know, but then at the same time, I've seen videos of alligators in the wild where they're underwater and their head's facing this way, a fish goes by this way, and they whack.
Maybe it's just what kind of mood they're in.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Maybe if they're just not in the fucking mood.
It's some weirdness for sure.
Another place I'd like to go, Costa Rica.
Oh, I love Costa Rica, man.
Beautiful.
I try to go. I usually try to go a couple times a year. I haven't gone this year yet, but
beautiful.
Oh, this is an old album.
But I like. Where was it?
2011.
I saw the frog. One of the frogs. Where is it? This one. I mean, what type of frog is that?
So that's a strawberry poison dart frog.
Those things are awesome.
Yeah, and you can also there's other pages here too. So this is page 1 of 5 in that album. So like
Rob, go back to the beginning because there's some really cool
Hold on,
things I wanted to ask.
Oh, on the other album that we're at? Yeah.
No, on this one, but it was just like on the homepage. Yeah. Go down.
These are incredible shots.
Right there to the right where it says Costa Rica 2011.
You got better eyes. That's what I was just on. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just on that one.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. Well, just go to the next page. You see the little arrow on the right? No, over. Yeah, right there.
Right there.
No.
Right there.
No.
Rob, the pictures.
Oh yeah, right here. You see? Oh, right here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'll help. He's having trouble too. Rob, right here's the pictures, buddy. Just click on the pictures.
No, you see that arrow to the right?
Yeah, you see
a little bit more. Yeah, so you click that, it'll go to the next page.
Okay.
See? There you go. So we got all kinds. That's a baby hummingbird, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. Hummingbird nest. And so those eggs are like this.
What?
Yeah. Super cool.
Rob, click on that one with the eyes, the green one.
Right there?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so that's a glass frog.
Now, can they kill you?
That's cool.
Well, that one, no. Those are pretty harmless. The poison dart frog we were just looking at is also relatively... I mean, you don't want to eat it, you know, but like you can pick it up, hold it in your hand. It can't hurt you. Just if you touch your eyes, that would be a bad day.
Really?
Yeah, it wouldn't. I'm pretty positive they can't kill you. Depending on the frog, depends on.
You're pretty positive they can't kill you.
Well, I think it'll just make you, you know. I mean, if you touch your eyes, you'll be burning. It could cause blindness.
That's like Kermit the Frog right there.
Yeah,
that is so fucking cool.
And what's this?
That's a helmeted iguana.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, well, right above that's an eyelash viper. Those are really cool.
Wow.
So, okay, well, you go out there, right? You're seeing all this crazy shit. Is there ever something that you come upon that you're like, I have no idea what the fuck that is? Like, you know, it might be a snake or a frog or like, I have no idea what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I mean, I was showing you that one earlier from Africa, that snake. I didn't know what kind of snake that was. It's like, I just caught it and I'm like, I don't know what this is.
And then how do you know if it's like, I know they say colors sometimes or
right. So how do you know if it's dangerous?
Yes,
you mean?
Yeah.
Right. So With snakes, I know the different snake families well enough. I have a decent idea most of the time whether or not a snake is going to be venomous or not. And I obviously study before I go to a place, but like some of these places, there's so many. Like there's so many. You have 20 different kinds of venomous snakes, and then like another 120 non-venomous, and you're like, oh my God, like Costa Rica's got so many different kinds of snakes. It's so hard. Like even people who live there don't know.
Yeah, and like all these countries that you've been to, can you imagine how many species are out there that have never been found?
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's a gazillion people walking around out there looking for them.
Yeah. There could be, you could find new stuff. There's also aberrancies in pattern. That gets really weird.
What is that?
So like an albino, so like there's recessive genetic traits that can cause some sort of aberrant display of coloration. So like sometimes you get something that just looks weird, it's like I'm trying to think of like albino or melanistic. We have dark pigmentation. Those are like the ones we really think of, but you can also have like something that's off in color, like the coral snake and the Charlotte King snake, red touch yellow killifellow.
Yeah.
Okay, I have found snakes that violate that because their patterns just mix matched, and that's an aberrancy. That's not normal, but I have found ones that would fit the bill that like, oh, this is a Scarlet King snake and the red is touching the yellow. And so if you go by the rhyme, you would think that's a coral snake, and you can find coral snakes like the opposite way too.
So like technically it's kind of like a gene code error.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
And
so
then,
you can find weird stuff.
Yeah. That's
really
Well,
interesting.
talking about that kind of stuff. So on one of these Peru trips I was on, so right before I got there, a dude just got bit by a coral snake. Oh. Yeah. So because there are a lot of coral snake mimics that they are so different than what we have here. There's like so many different kinds of coral snakes. So that red touch yellow thing only works in the U.S. And even in the U.S., it doesn't work all the time. Down there, it doesn't work at all. Throw it out. So we have what's called an orange ring coral snake down there, where it goes like orange, black, white, orange. That's the pattern. Like, what?
Wow.
And that's a coral snake that can drop you dead. And then it has a mimic, a non-venomous snake that looks exactly the same.
What the fuck is that? I'm sorry to cut you off.
A dragonfly.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no worries.
I know. I'm sorry. While you guys are talking, I'm like looking through pictures.
No worries.
Amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, so they found one of the mimics, and they correctly identified it as a mimic, and they picked it up and they're holding it and checking it out. And then somebody's like, "Look, there's another mimic right over there. It's a coral snake." And he picked it up. And actually, the one dude picked it up. It didn't bite him. He handed it to the other dude, bit him. And then, he almost died. They were rushing him to the hospital and everything, and he was paralyzed from the waist down, couldn't move his legs. He was starting to go out, and they got him in the hospital and, got him anti-venom. He was okay. But then I got there the next day.
Yeah. Now,
Crazy.
how would you have done it differently? Would you have approached it differently?
I mean, always treat everything as if it's venomous.
No matter what, yeah.
Yeah, no matter what. I've caught snakes down there that, like, like I told you with that one in Africa, I've had ones in Peru too where I'm like, I can't see the head, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I just treat it like it's venomous all the time. Like I'm not 100% certain it's venomous.
What's the biggest reptile in Peru? I dated a girl from Peru for a long time, and
anaconda.
Anaconda.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're huge out there.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Are they smart?
So on the intelligence scale, snakes aren't too high. Most snakes are not what most people consider to be very smart. But again, we're talking about how do we perceive intelligence? So you have an animal with no arms, no legs. It can't manipulate its environment very well. The way they move is kind of funky. Like what I'm trying to say is we have a hard time of understanding their intelligence. Maybe we don't evaluate it properly because we don't understand them well enough. So that's why I feel it's kind of unfair to call them dumb or something, but I mean, compared to an alligator, the gators are way smarter,
Yeah.
And then what about, so you hear all the time down the Everglades, about the pythons. They have the python hunts where you go and kill the pythons.
Go to that album then.
I got a python. You have an album on that, but what's the deal with that? You hear about the python hunts. They are an invasive species.
Yes. Yeah.
So it is good to get rid of them.
Yes.
It's good to kill them. Talk about that. I guess.
Right. This is a cool album too, by the way. The Socorro, Mexico. That's all diving there. It's super cool, yeah. So that's a giant manta. Talk about an intelligent animal, mantas.
Really?
Bro.
Click a couple pictures of those, Rob.
The mantas are one of the only things I've had that
love
wants
that photo,
to come and check you out.
They want to come and check you out.
Like when we do the shark dives, we have bait. And then once the bait's gone, the sharks leave. There's no bait with the manta. It sees you, and if you let it, it comes over, and it'll just look at you, and it's got those little things in the front. It moves those around, and it's like eyeing you, and like it's so cool. You just hold still, don't be threatening, and they'll come over and look at you and check you out, man.
Dude, you're really talented. Your photos too are
Thank you.
You are amazing,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
man.
thank you, man.
I'm glad you got out of
Look
that
at
TV
that.
shit.
Look at that right there. Like that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
My Sauron shot.
And we can buy these?
Yeah.
Wow.
So those lobes at the front, they can actually unfold it, so that's coiled up like kind of like that, and then they can open it up, and they'll use that to funnel plankton into the mouth.
Wow.
And they are dangerous?
No. I mean, some rays obviously have a spine, and they can stick you with the spine if they feel threatened, but they're not.
What's the one that the guy got killed by?
Steve Irwin, yeah, he got killed by a stingray.
A stingray.
But he's swimming over it, and it felt threatened by him, So, like, if you got close enough, you make him feel threatened, yes, but they're not aggressive at all,
What I think is so cool in the ocean, and I've never, like, gone deep like that, like this kind of stuff, but just little deep, is the what's the shit at the bottom, like the coral, how it, like, changes colors.
Oh, do you see this guy, the crown of thorns, next to the orange fish? Yeah, that right there. Yeah, look at this thing.
See, that is amazing to me.
Yeah.
That is absolutely, and it blends. It changes, right? To always blend with like the rock.
So yeah, those guys, I think they can do a slight color change, but they're still really just look like an alien.
They must have been here forever.
How old are eels? I always wondered those. Those things are fucking like. Can we measure their age? Right? Are they date back for a while? Eels?
I don't know enough about them to give you a good answer.
Yeah,
Chris, one of these things in here have to be an alien. Have to be. one of these damn things. One of them, right? Do you think one of these?
Oh man.
You think one of these are from another planet? At least one.
Maybe we all are. But
I guess we're all with them.
If you go back to the
what a hell of a picture there too.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's a white tip reef.
This will all be in the description as well.
Good, awesome. Or no, it's a silver tip. Sorry. Yeah. So if you hit that little home thing at the top, yeah, right there, and we can go to the python one, and we can hit that. So we can talk about the pythons.
Oh yeah, python.
Right down there, pythons in Florida.
You like pythons, don't you?
Oh yeah, dude, I think they're so cool. Oh no, go to the right. I see pythons in Florida. Down one. There we go.
Sorry, it's small on my screen. That's why when I'm looking at it.
No worries. So so we can cover this whole thing. So pythons in the Everglades, right? So pythons are native to Southeast Asia.
It's huge.
Yeah. Well, if you just want to look through for a second, just 'cause this is wild.
I mean, what do they weigh?
Some of them get over 200
Look at
pounds.
that.
Yeah, fucking shot. Dude, your camera work is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, underwater shot. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
That's underwater.
Holy fuck.
What kind of camera do you use?
So most of this is with a Canon 80 or 90D and either a 10 to 22 or 10 to 17 lens.
I love Canon.
Yeah.
Ever since I copied everything
that
Joe
one-
Rogan has.
He threw up an ibis.
Oh, bird, yeah.
Yeah, so I caught that python and it threw up the ibis.
Oh, holy shit.
So do they digest food, or how does that work?
Yeah, so you see the skull starting to be digested. You see the head right there? Like if you look at the backside, the bird just looks wet. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. And then you see that the head is starting to be digested.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Super gnarly, man. There's one striking. What's cool in that shot is you can see the inner rows of teeth. So they have 6 rows of teeth. So they had normal, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and then a 2 on the inner row.
That's so interesting how you can almost tell without, like, say you just saw their teeth, you can almost identify snakes by their teeth, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
most part.
If you know what you're looking for, absolutely.
And are pythons venomous?
No, they're non-venomous, so they're a
Non-venomous.
constrictor.
Oh, so they'll suffocate you.
Yeah, they wrap up on
I
you.
just think of Jake the Snake Roberts. It's one of those.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a throwback. Look at that hair.
Oh, boy.
That was me back in the day.
All right, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, bro. I miss those days.
So what? People had these as pets and then just dumped them, and this
Right.
is the problem they're having, or what?
So to give the whole story. So they used to be legally able to be bought in the pet trade. You didn't need a permit, nothing. You just needed money. You show up, you buy a baby python, it's this big, you don't do your homework, and then next year it's this big. And the next year it's twice that big, and then your dog goes missing.
And then you got a problem.
And then you got a problem. And people are like, God, dude, I didn't know they get this big. You get a lot of dumb people, and they're like, oh, I didn't know. And then they just let it go. They're like, well, I don't want to kill my pet. I love my snake. I don't know what to do with it, though. So I'm going to let it go in the Everglades. And enough people do that. They encounter each other with a high enough frequency. They start breeding. The population blows up exponentially. And then you have Hurricane Andrew that also destroyed places, released some. So enough of them got out there in the environment that now they're breeding. And it's it's completely out of control.
Mayhem, right?
Completely out of control. Everywhere from Key Largo all the way up to Lake Okeechobee, all the way out to Naples. I mean, the entirety of South Florida. It is insane. I've caught well over 100 myself. I've caught several over 16 feet. I mean, wow. It is nuts.
Can you eat them?
No, because the thing is that we've poisoned the environment so much. Thank you. Everything that's predatory.
Shocker.
Yeah, basically, just FYI, guys, don't eat anything that's a predatory animal anymore because of the mercury content. So you get biomagnification where, like, basically eating any. We're going to talk about snakes or alligators or sharks. These are all apex predators, and the contaminants that humans put in the environment, specifically mercury is one of the big ones. Basically, you eat one snake. Let's say we eat a 15-foot python. You're eating the equivalency of eating all the raccoons it ate, all the rats it ate, all the alligators it ate, all the everything it eats, because mercury stays in the muscle tissue. It doesn't pass through. So the fish one is the biggest one. You know, or the best analogy people are familiar with is like you eat one shark. That shark ate 300 grouper. Those groupers ate, 5,000 small fish. Those small fish ate 1 billion plankton, whatever. You're getting the mercury from every one of those animals. They all stay in that tissue. So
and it all makes sense because think about it. Like when we were growing up, tuna fish.
Yeah.
Everybody would say, hey, don't eat too much tuna fish. You're going to get the mercury. And that's a can like this.
Yeah, dude.
With a bunch of salt and water. And
And like when you look at like what mercury does to your neurons, I mean, they do studies. Like there's images side by side showing mercury effects on the brain, and just it destroys your neurons. Like it is horrible.
It stops it from firing, right? It stops your brain from firing back and forth.
Like they degrade and fall apart. Like dude, it is so bad. And this is what we're doing to the planet. Dude, did you see this one? Rogan had Elizabeth Swan on.
I saw part of it.
Or Dr. Swan. Maybe that's not the right first name, but I know it was Swan. Talking about phthalates in the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was so eye-opening for me. And then, you look into it more and you're like, never, ever microwave anything with plastic, ever. Like I didn't know that. I grew up microwaving everything in plastic. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Makes you rethink everything you've eaten.
We looked up this thing and we saw, and it was like not like a bullshit website that what it said was like every week we inhale enough plastic to spit out a credit card.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's insane.
And the micro things that are in the ocean, even the plastics that are in the ocean.
Well, bringing this back to the alligators. So somebody did, DDT. You remember that? It was a pesticide used back in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was really bad. It would cause birth defects.
My dad had that shit.
Yep, birth defects. It was really bad for birds. It would make the bird eggshell be super thin, and all the baby birds would die. And then it's also shown to be an endocrine disruptor where it affects reproductive health. And so, with alligators, they did a study showing alligator penis size shrinking. And so even with gators, and then if you saw the stuff with Dr. Swan talking about, men's penis size, everything like that, sperm count, everything, like 50% of the sperm count of your great-grandparents.
Yeah.
What?
Everything's going down.
Dude, so bad.
I think he said 56%. I think he says it was almost like 60% from a grandfather.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Now, when you're,
I think it's because all the shit they put in the food.
It's everything. Yeah.
It's everything.
Water.
Dude, the fertilizers. Fertilizers are one of the biggest ones. It's fertilizers, pesticides. At least in Florida specifically, those are the big ones. It's big sugar.
Yeah, there was this. I forget his name. He had a big beard. He was on Rogan, and he was talking about soil. And he was saying that people don't understand the chain of soil. Yeah. Because once one chain in that soil is broken, it's all over. Because you need that soil to grow, because those plants need to grow so that the plant-eating animals can eat, so that the meat, you know what I mean, the whole thing. Yeah. And he was really explaining how close we are to breaking that lock in the soil. Like, the soil was so fucking important. Yeah. I didn't even know it until I really got into it and then read about it, and I was like, wow. Yeah. Because think about it. No soil, no plants. If there's no plants,
no animals.
No animals. It might not happen in a year or two, but once that little domino that's straight right now in the soil breaks,
dude,
it's bad news.
I mean, not even an hour away from where we are right now. If you go into the Everglades agricultural area just south of Lake Okeechobee, you go out there, it is horrific. It's like a hellscape. Like, you see these just endless fields of sugarcane on one side. On the other side, they're burning one field. That's how they do it. They burn it. You see the smoke from here. You ever see the ash falling down? You'll get the ash falling. Now that I say it, if you watch for it, you'll see it. I see it down in Fort Lauderdale. It's just ash falling from the sky from the sugar canes burning. That's what they do before they harvest it, to burn off all the leaves and everything. But anyways, when you're out there, you'll see houses where the foundation is like up here, and you see like now they've had to build down and like the ground used to be up there. That's how much soil's been burned away every time they do this. And so over there, like, you have this huge loss of soil in that area. It's crazy.
And it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing anything about it.
No, they don't care. They just make more money. That's again. It's what we were saying right in the beginning.
It's all about the damn money.
How much money can I make? Screw everyone else.
Yeah. Who cares what happens to the planet and everybody that lives
our kids,
there?
our grandkids. You know.
Yeah. We had a guy in. Well, you've been in all these countries, so you know. So we had a guy in. His name's Vinny, and he has an ice snack store, and he would get in like all these like Coke, Doritos from different countries. And he would, what'd he bring in? Like a Sprite from Japan and a Sprite from U.S., Doritos from U.S., Doritos from, Thailand. And the expiration date on the Thailand is like 3 months. The expiration date on U.S. is like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And then, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, right.
But then you take a bite of a U.S. Dorito, you're like, okay, this is U.S. Then you take a bite of, a Thailand Dorito, and it's completely different.
Not all the preservatives.
No preservatives, nothing. But that's why those Thailand people live till fucking 102.
Right.
Like the monks.
Well, a crazy one I've noticed is like ketchup. Weirdly, when I'm in Peru, the ketchup tastes totally different. I'm like, what? I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's tomatoes. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but it's
maybe
like,
it's just maybe they actually use real tomatoes.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe they're not manufacturing them in a lab.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely different.
Now, real quick, back to the python thing. Just got one question about it. You see these size of these fucking pythons, right? The size of these pythons, and you see that they're eating full deer or have deer in their stomachs.
Right.
Alligator versus python.
Who wins?
Who wins?
Right. So it all comes down to who is bigger and who sees who first. Because what happens is if the alligator grabs the python first, he can rip it right in half, no problem. But if the python gets the alligator first, and they're both trying to ambush each other, it's not like this epic fight where like they see each other and they rear up and get ready. No, it's all ambush. It's trying to get the guy who's not paying attention. That's all predatory interactions. As humans, we have this idea of like in the movies, you're running and it's behind you, like, oh my God, it's right behind me. That's not real. Like almost 99.9% of all predatory interactions ambushing the dude who's not paying attention, So anyways, python grabs the gator, wraps around. As an alligator, you can't bite your own chest. You can't bite the snake. It wraps around, gets up at your neck. You can't, what are you going to do? You can't bite yourself. You can't reach. He's toast. Now if you could just teach the alligators, if they had language, all they got to do is tell each other, just go to the bottom and hold your breath. Gators can hold their breath 6 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah, python's got like 20 minutes maybe.
They can hold their breath for 6 hours?
Yeah. So if the gators can just figure out to just sink and hold your breath, they're fine.
Holy shit.
That's all they got to do. If they just knew what to do, they got them.
Maybe throw the, what's the one's name that came to you?
Yeah, Casper?
Yeah, why don't you say Casper? Here's some chicken. Go down. I'm teaching you how to do it.
Right, man? If they just knew,
Now, how does a snake devour that?
So their jaws are held together by elastic ligaments, so they can actually stretch out 3 times the size of their own head.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Swallow it whole. And the skull itself even. This is what's really crazy. I have python skulls, and like with most animals, you try to...
Python skulls?
Yeah, at my house, yeah.
Cool shit.
Yeah, so like when you try to put it together, it all just falls apart because none of them are actually... They're held together with these ligaments, not actual bone like yours. It's not solid like yours. So that's why like I've seen a python get hit by a car, run over its head, and because it's not solid, it like stretches. You ever get your hand, like your hand can get smashed and it stretches out because you have a lot of smaller bones together. And so like you can get your hand actually smashed and it like kind of stretches out. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their skulls do the same thing. So I've seen one get his head ran over by a car and be fine. Fine. Like, I mean, it's bleeding. It's not fine. But like,
not dead.
It survives.
Yeah.
They survive. And it's like, oh my God. I see the skulls of them and there would be like so many broken bones in the skull, but it's alive. And like these are, I have ones where like 100% either he got his head crushed by an alligator and still lived and got the gator, or he got hit by a car because his skull is all kinds of smashed.
But when they like devour a deer, let's say, I'm just using, I've seen that before.
They devour deers?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Are they done eating for like a long time, or how? Like, does it stay? Like, does it literally just sit in their stomach until the acids or something died? What? How?
Yes.
Like, give me that. How does that work?
Yeah. So they're gonna like if he eats a deer, it's gonna take him oh my god. I mean, I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I'm gonna say at least a week or two to just digest it. Like he's gonna have that huge bulge in him, like. Probably longer. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I was wondering because like how long does that stay?
Yeah, I've never dealt exactly with that, so I don't know exactly. But I'm gonna say at least a week or two, maybe longer, to even digest it. And then he doesn't have to eat for months. Now that doesn't mean that he won't eat. You know, like 2 months later, if he sees a meal, he's gonna probably go for it. You know, but like let's say it was a survival situation and like that snake ate the deer and then he was stuck in a box. You know, whatever. He fell in a cave. He can't eat. He's good. If he's got water to drink, that thing is fine for months, even over a year, you might argue. If it's a healthy snake, like some of these snakes, if they're healthy and everything, they can go a year without eating, no problem. Same with alligators, though. Yeah, the alligators can go a whole year without eating if they're healthy.
Be near it if
an alligator can go a year without eating?
I've seen people
How's it maintain its size?
So they don't produce their own body heat, so they don't have the same metabolic requirements. So that's why when you see me with them, I feed them very small pieces. They really eat very little. In 1 year, your normal domestic dog eats more than the average alligator. That's like 200 pounds.
Because they don't get hot.
Yeah, they're not producing their own body heat. Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Wow.
So like they don't need to eat much. Now, because they don't need to, it doesn't mean they're not going to. Like that whole year thing, that's survival. That's not fun.
Yeah, that's like survival mode.
Yeah, that's not a fun time.
If they see something to eat, they're going to eat it.
Right.
And they're going to fill themselves up as much.
I mean, I've heard 2 years even, but I don't know.
Look, man, if they've been around this long, I wouldn't put my money against it that they couldn't.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. But on that note too, just because a lot of people ask about this one with like misconceptions about the alligator's behavior, like a lot of people assume, okay, so if you feed them, then they won't bite you, right? They stop eating when they're full. They get full really easy. They don't need a lot of food. So if you feed them, then they're full and they won't bite, right? No. Okay, that's not how they work at all. I've literally watched an alligator eat until he pukes it up and then eat it back over again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't stop eating when they're full. So that's a really big one. A lot of people misunderstand, you know, like, oh, well, if they're full, they stop eating. Oh, yeah, do people stop eating when they're full? No. Why would you expect them to?
See, now I would think of like a dog, right? You could feed a dog and he'll puke and then he'll try to eat, if it's like a good chicken, he'll try to eat up his own puke.
Yeah, exactly. They do the same thing.
If a dog does it, of course, an alligator, everybody's going to do it.
Yeah.
If you're in survival mode, they're animals.
Yep,
you know?
exactly. So, like, that's one of the big things. People are like, oh, he's able to do that because he just fed them. Like, absolutely not the case. No. I don't feed them before I interact with them. And even if I did, it wouldn't make a difference. You know?
And then you got into speaking, right? You started speaking. What got you into that? Just educating people about things that they don't know?
I guess so.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you know, nobody's asked me that one, actually. So I was just like, how did I get into that more? I guess because my first job was doing venomous snake shows. I guess that's probably why. Or no, really. Well, that was my first, like, adult job. When I was a kid, I worked at a nature camp. And so, like, at first I volunteered, and then that was my first job when I was 15, was doing, like, a nature camp. So I guess that was it. You know, and I would take the kids out and teach them and, you know, speak to, like, a, you know, little group of kids and whatever. And so I guess that's what really got me into that.
And then that's what led you to what you're doing now.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm just trying to educate people about animals.
Do you think, and I guess this is a random question too, do you think that, you know, you always hear the negatives about zoos and places like that, right?
Yeah.
But if done, how do I say this to make?
I know where you're trying to go.
Is it okay, do you think, if the animals are treated humanely? And
so,
what are your thoughts?
Right.
You know what I'm getting at.
I know where you're going, right? So, here's the way I look at it. Do I want to be the guy in the cage? No. But if I told you that there's an alien race that doesn't give a crap about us and is going to let us all die by their, their pollution, let's just call it what it is, right? Their pollution is going to kill us, and the only way we're going to survive is if I put you in a cage, and you're going to spend the rest of your life in a cage, and your life is going to suck. You are the martyr for your race. Your life is going to suck, but because your life sucks, they're going to learn more about you, they're going to like you, and now they're going to want to protect our species. What's the right answer? Do you want to be the guy in the cage? Your life is over. Your life is horrible. But you know, not that the animals know this, but you would at least know that you're giving up your life to educate a higher being to not stomp on your existence of your species.
And continue your existence. Like, say your last name.
Yeah.
You know, you want your last name to keep living on. So do you want to go in a cage? You know.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's back and forth.
Yeah, it's an imperfect solution, but let's be real. If there weren't zoos, we wouldn't have people who care about animals. Do I like the fact that they're in cages? No, but it's a necessary evil. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't go visit zoos and learn about animals. You know, when I was a kid and we went a field trip to SeaWorld. Everybody hates SeaWorld. At least now. I went as a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was a kid.
I thought it was cool shit.
I thought it was amazing. I didn't know any better. And then now that I know more, I'm like, oh man, you know, orcas shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. That's horrible. We need to get them out of there. But then I'm like, would I like orcas if I didn't see them when I was a kid and see the magic and be inspired by them though?
And you can't put them back once you have them in a cage, right? It's just
a lot of animals, yeah. I mean, some you can, but a lot of them you can't, you know. So, like, it's a messy, you know, crappy situation. And it sucks, but the way I look at it is in the long run, I would rather be the dude who takes one for the team for be the savior of the species. But they don't understand that they are, you know, that savior. They hate their life, and it sucks.
I guess as long as the zoo is treating them right and doing the best that they can given the situation. Because, I mean, there's been a lot of endangered species that are still here because of zoos, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I guess what I'm also thinking on two different tracks right here. I'm thinking of, like, these higher intelligent animals that, like, really shouldn't be in zoos, like orcas. They should not be in captivity. Like, end of story, you know, but because they have been, that's what gets people to care about them enough to want to save them. Because, I mean, they used to be called killer whales. People hated them, you know. People despised them. It's a killer whale.
Yeah, you got a great point there, because they don't deserve to be in there. But if they're not in there, then people are going to care about them, and they probably would just kill them all anyway.
Yeah, so there's certain, like, higher intelligence animals like orcas or like chimps, you know, things like this that, like, man, there's no real justification to have.
That's a great question, Rob.
Yeah, but there's other animals that we can reproduce their environment accurately enough that they are 100% happy. You know, like, obviously we can't reproduce the environment for an orca. There's not the space. You know, they're traveling sometimes 100 miles a day. You know, we can't reproduce that. But for certain animals like alligators, I think the alligators in captivity are very happy. You know, they got everything they want, everything they need. You give them a good environment, they're happy. Snakes, they're very happy in captivity if you do it correctly. You know, but do I think the orcas are happy? No.
That's
definitely not monkeys, right?
Yeah,
monkeys.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, same thing, you know?
Yeah, that's just the way I look at it. Like, you know, because you see it all the time, people protesting against it and stuff like that. I'm like, I understand what they're saying, but I'm like, it's like the education part, and plus, they keep tearing land down, and the Florida panther has nowhere to go. I mean, it's gonna be dead if you keep doing this. So you know, I don't know. It's a tough.
Well, so there's the argument for captive breeding. 100%. There are animals that would be extinct right now if it was not for captive breeding. Mm-hmm. You know, if we didn't have animals in zoos, they would be extinct in the wild for certain species. Definitely. So there's different arguments there. You know, higher intelligence animals or animals in general. You know, animals in general, 100%. Zoos are a great thing. Higher intelligence animals, that's that messy.
Yeah, I hate to see a monkey in there. I hate it.
Yeah, I know, man.
I hate it. And gorillas and shit. How do you put a gorilla in there?
Yeah, well,
I hate it. I walk away. I really do. I walk away.
The thing too is some places do obviously a better job than others. You know, so like that's the other way I look at it is like it's like prison. Let's call it what it is. It's prison. It's animal jail. You're in animal jail. Now, there are some jails where Martha Stewart goes to jail. Okay?
Right.
There's Martha Stewart jail, and then there's Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
Okay? There's different kinds of jails.
And Rikers Island,
yeah. There's Rikers, and there's where Martha Stewart. Okay? So, like, there's different kinds of jails. So some zoos are not that bad. Some zoos spend hundreds of millions of dollars on their exhibits, and they do an amazing job. And there's some places that are awful and should be shut down. Yeah. But then people paint the whole thing zoos in general, and it's like you're putting them together. Like, no, bro. There's a big difference, okay?
That was like I don't know how long ago it was. You probably heard the story. I think it was Tampa. Tampa Zoo, I want to say. This is the crazy fucked up. This guy was a cleaning guy that worked at the zoo. Okay. There's a tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Behind a cage.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing this stuff.
I'm going to feed the tiger at night because, you know, I know what I'm doing, first of all. Not that you should do it anyway. Stuck his hand into the cage. Guess what happened?
Yeah.
He didn't have a hand anymore.
No, the tiger grabbed hold of it. So they called the 911. Police officer shows up, right? Guy is screaming. His arm's being ripped off.
Yep.
Again, I'm not blaming the police officer by any means. He shot the tiger
to save the guy.
To save the guy. It will save the guy's arm. And then the tiger went back and the tiger died. I'm like, at that point, the guy's arm's gone. Fuck it. His arm's gone. Tourniquet once it rips it off, and then take him to the hospital. They killed the tiger. It was
Bro, they do the same thing with like alligators, though. If somebody is feeding an alligator, a wild alligator, it's illegal to feed them. Somebody's feeding the wild alligator. They're being a moron. Gator grabs them, kills them. Then they come and kill all the alligators in the pond. Why? It's their fault.
And then they put it on the news that
alligator
dangerous
attack.
they are. If you see them, this, that, the other.
They call it an alligator attack. Almost all the gator attacks we get is when people are feeding them. Here's a big one I should have said before. Huge thing to get out to people. Never, ever feed a wild alligator. Never have kids or pets near the water's edge. Don't go swimming in alligator habitat. If everybody just knew those things, we'd solve 99% of alligator issues.
Kind of sounds like the news. They tell you just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's and then they blame the gators. They call it an alligator attack. Oh, this guy was told multiple times. The dude just got killed a couple months ago. Well, we just had an old lady killed who fell in.
I saw that one.
And, she fell in and was seen having struggle swimming, and then 2 gators came and got her. And it's like, that's a tragic accident. That's an accident. It is what it is. But at the same time, I don't know what you should do, but prevent people from falling in. Have a fence around there. I don't know what the situation was, but that's an accident, obviously. But it's she could have fell into traffic the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like it's a preventable thing, and it's a very predictable thing to have happen. If you do this, this is what happens. You fall in the street on I-95, you're gonna get hit by a car. You fall in the lake, alligator's gonna grab you. And it's a tragic accident, but it's an accident. But then we had the other dude that went swimming for, I think it was a Frisbee, and he was told multiple times not to go swimming.
The Frisbee, God.
Yeah, well, he was told multiple times that there are alligators there, don't go swimming there. There's signs there saying that, blah, blah, blah.
You should probably assume, though, if you're in Florida, right, any body of, is that true? Any body of water could have an alligator.
Assume any and every body of water in Florida has an alligator in it. Now, they say this guy was possibly had, mental problems or was on drugs. I've heard different stuff. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. But the point is, there's signage saying don't go in there. He's told not to go in there. Goes in there, gets grabbed by an alligator. And then they kill the alligators.
Well, whether he was on drugs or not, the sign says don't go in.
Why do you got to kill the alligators?
That's what I mean.
Like,
I don't get it.
And can they, and this is just this is amazing. One more
it
question
is
for me.
now.
The alligator. There's the alligator and the crocodile, right? Is brackish water, fresh water, salt water? Can an alligator be in salt water for a short period of time?
Yeah.
Crocodile more? Give me that, because
Right.
always misconceptions on that I hear.
So the breakdown on that is, so here in Florida is the only place we have both alligators and crocodiles. So we'll just keep it Florida-based to make it simple. So our American crocodiles have a lingual salt gland. So they have a gland in their tongue that allows them to drink salt water, excrete the excess salt. So they're fine. So they can live in total saltwater ocean.
Wow.
Holy shit. So they filter out the salt.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is they can only do that as adults. Babies can't do it. So they have to have a somewhat freshwater area or raindrops on the surface. You get a halocline, so you'll have the freshwater floats above the salt when it just rains, and they'll snap at raindrops to drink it. It's kind of cool. But that's why we don't really get crocs in the Bahamas very much, because there's not enough fresh water for them to drink. They are known from there, and they do show up occasionally, but not like in Florida. Like Florida, we have relatively big population of crocodiles because they can find fresh water to drink, right? So anyways, though, the babies need the fresh water. The adults don't need it at all. He can be fully pelagic, if you will, out there, and he's okay. The gators don't have that salt gland, so they are like us. They can go swim in salt water. They can be in salt water for several days and survive, but they do have to find fresh water to drink.
Where do they find it?
Well, either they find shore or they die. Just like us. It's like us. Same thing. It's like,
I'm just trying to think, in Florida, where would they find fresh water?
well, that's why they don't try to go in the ocean. That's why you don't usually see. Yeah, no, really. That's why you don't usually see
Yeah, I was
gators.
going to ask, what are the chances of seeing one in the water?
I have. I've seen them in salt water. I've even seen them in hypersaline in the mangroves, where you get the wash in and then evaporates and it becomes super salty. It's really weird. So I've even seen gators in that kind of stuff.
That's some serious salt water.
Yeah, and so
You ever see that, Rob?
Uh-huh.
It leaves a fucking bottle. You could have a salt for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
One way. Yeah.
So I don't know what he was doing in there, but he probably didn't stay there very long. So I have seen him in there, but he can't live in that. He's got to find fresh water to drink for sure.
And if you're at the beach, right, and there's a lot of people in the water, let's just say, and let's say there is a crocodile somewhere in that water, he's probably not going to come near because it's just too much commotion and people and things.
Right.
He's scared or what?
Yeah, so our American crocs that we have here in Florida, there's never been a single fatality from one in the history of the state of Florida. Ever. They're not interested in us. They don't attack us. Now, that's not to say if you went and you saw a big one and I'm going to swim out and try to pet it, it's probably not going to go well for you.
But you just said there's never been one in Florida, right?
Right.
But you never hear that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is everybody's like, oh, crocs are more aggressive than alligators. Yeah. That's what you hear all day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are dumb.
I don't even know what the hell the difference is. They look the same to me.
Okay. So there's a lot. So the super basic answer, there's over 20 different species of crocodilians in the world. So there's a lot, okay? So to really get specific, you can compare different species. The breakdowns get much more complicated. But the broad stroke answer is alligators have more round, broad nose. Crocodiles more narrow, pointed nose. Alligators are darker. Crocs are lighter. When an alligator's mouth is closed, they have an overbite. You see the top row teeth sticking out like that. On a crocodile, you see both rows. They interlace like a zipper. Okay.
Through evolution, why do you think their teeth are like that?
So it's better for catching fish.
Better for catching fish.
Yeah. So alligators are feeding a lot more on mammals and turtles, especially turtles. So alligators have stronger jaws, pound for pound. Now crocodiles can get bigger, so they can be more powerful. But 8-foot gator, 8-foot croc, gators got stronger jaws, and they're crushing turtles. So that's what they're really good at. Now the croc, they're hunting more fish, especially if they're more coastal, things like that. So that's why you have the teeth sticking out a lot more like that.
Wow. Interesting. And that's all through evolution.
Yeah. So if you look at the extreme version is the gharial. Have you seen one of these?
No.
Yeah, so Google this. Garial. Some people spell with an H in there too.
What is it?
It's a kind of crocodile.
Really?
Right. So you're going to see look at this.
I'm not
thing.
a complete idiot for
look at these.
Oh my god.
Whoa. Holy shit.
That's cool looking though. That's awesome.
Okay, now I've seen that before.
So these guys mainly, almost exclusively hunt fish. So those jaws are super long and slender.
Click on that one, Rob.
Right here?
Yeah. Have you ever seen one like that? Like been that close?
Not in the wild, but I mean, I've seen them at zoos and whatnot.
Oh,
so
shit.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, so these guys, that's a prehistoric one actually.
Yeah.
But you can see these are real photos over here. So the idea behind that is have the jaws really long and narrow, so there's less drag in the water, so they can move more quickly through the water. And then those really sharp teeth sticking out like that, that's just ideal for capturing fish right there.
So they can just open up and
just really quick movements. And with an alligator, that's going to move much faster through the water.
That's a pretty bad looking. Yeah, that's a badass looking.
Yeah, but
that's cool.
But you can see how that will move quicker through the water than a big alligator jaw.
Oh yeah.
But then the big alligator jaw is crushing. This doesn't have very much crush power.
Right.
He's not eating any turtles.
No, he's just eating fish.
Yeah, exactly. So that
alligator will eat a fucking your head.
Yeah, so that's more specific just for getting the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Rob, pull up his Instagram.
Yep.
Let's play a couple more videos and let's get out of here.
Yeah. People love this one up on the top right. This one's funny. Yeah. Because if you just click it, you'll see. This one freaks people out.
Look at that big boy. That big fella.
You got balls, bro.
So people lose it on that one.
You're not vegetarian. I am.
Vegetarian.
But see, I see the psyche. You're very calm. You're very slow moving.
Yep.
Look at your hand. Your hand's just very still.
Yep.
As you're filming this.
I know.
I'm by myself.
With an alligator.
I'm alone.
Alone.
Filming selfie.
You're not leaving your mouth.
Yeah, so people love that though.
That is cool.
Don't leave in your mouth.
I did that one time because I thought it was funny and I wasn't even going to post it. I almost deleted it and I'm like, screw it, I'll post it. And then just blew up.
Would you do that again?
Oh, I've done it twice now for a video, yeah. Because I was just like, the first time I was like, whatever, and then I did it again and people loved it. This is cool. This is the bellow again.
Oh my God.
So we watched that earlier on land, but when he's in the water, you can see the water, the vibration of the sound makes the water dance.
Oh yeah.
Their skin is so cool.
Yeah.
And I know you said you ask this question all the time, but you've never been bitten by a gator?
Not really. I mean, I've had like dicks and scrapes and close calls, but it's like my analogy is like you ever had a fender bender, right? So like if you don't understand cars, like people don't understand alligators, and let's say I don't understand cars, but I know cars kill people more than almost anything in your life. And I'm like, you ever been in a car accident? And you're like, yeah. You're like, how are you alive? You've been in a car accident? And you're like, yeah, it was a fender bender. And they're like, what do you mean? Millions of people die in car accidents. How are you alive?
Oh, you mean that same person that wants to drive 24 hours in a car instead of getting on a plane and get there in 2 hours when way more people die in a car than a plane?
There you go. Right?
So he's sitting right here.
You don't like planes?
I hate planes.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, so that's my that's like my
Sorry,
analogy.
Rob, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So like I've had, you know, my like close calls, you know, I've caught teeth a couple times, but I've never been totaled. That's the way I put, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good.
He said I've never been told.
That's a good way to say it.
That's a good way to say it, you know? Like, I mean,
Hey, you're right.
I think the biggest gator scar I have is right there. You know, that's it. That's the biggest scar I've got from an alligator.
He's
right
got a
there.
paper cut.
I was gonna see, can't even see it on the camera.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
It's a paper cut.
I think that's the biggest scar I've got from an alligator right there. And I caught a tooth right there, you know, and I got out, you know, ripped my fingernail out with it. But yeah, that's just catching a tooth right there. But you know, like, do you count
It's like
that?
like a paper cut that just went a little deep.
But so that's what I mean. People ask you, you've been bit, and I'm like,
No,
I'm always kind of like about it because I'm like, well, kinda, but like no. But if you say yes, people are like, what? It grabbed you by the head and it's gonna rip your head off, you know? And it's like, well, no, there you go. And then people are like, what? That's not a bite. So then I'm like, no, you know.
Well, you're back on TV again.
Yeah, it's yeah. There you go. You know, so
You didn't
like
get bit.
that.
To me, between me and you didn't get bit.
Well, that's what I say. Like I don't. You know, so normally what I just say is no. Because then it becomes this whole conversation, and then especially like on tourism, I'm just like no, because you don't have you know.
But the funniest thing is that for somebody to think that you're not going to get a nick here and there playing around,
Yeah.
you know, it's not even the alligator. You might just hit the
skin or something.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I get so many comments. People like, how many times have you been bit? You know, it's like the assumption of my lack of skill. You know what I mean? Where it's just like it's like both ends are kind of like, you know.
But if they would study and watch how you handle them, like I did last night,
Yeah.
saw how slow you go up to them and how you and when I was reading all about you, how like you studied the psyche and everything.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't get bit,
Yeah.
because you're not going in there like you know everything.
I mean, I've had plenty of real close calls.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
You know, I'm gonna say quick reflexes are a big thing.
Those big bulges at the neck are his jaw muscles.
But you've been doing it all your life, though.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, next week could be it. You know, I'm very real about that too. You know, I tell people all the time, like, one slip, man, it could be game over. Like, I don't think I'm immortal. I don't think that like I'm you know, magical or some crap. You know, like I'm very real about it. Like literally next week I get grabbed and I could die. You know.
But I always think, even if that is the case, if you're doing what you love, fuck it.
Yeah. Oh no, that's how I feel. I'm gonna do it anyways. Cause
You probably go to another dimension anyway.
yeah, right. That's when the aliens come from me,
Or
man.
somewhere. A string theory, something.
But it's funny because the comments you'll get is a lot of people think there isn't any danger because I'm so good at what I do that people think there isn't risk or something. It's a really weird thing that I get from people. And then when I explain there is, people are like, wait, you can get hurt? Then why do you do this?
Well, because you're so good at it and you're so experienced with it and educated with it, you make it look so easy.
Yeah.
So like I'm not an idiot, right? So I would never do that. But if I was an idiot, I'd be like, oh, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
It really like,
but I mean,
yeah.
you got to look again at those fucking teeth.
Yeah.
And you got to go like look at an alligator like eating I don't know what, something huge.
Yeah.
Rob.
It just like I guess what I'm trying to say is like people's lack of understanding of human mortality is so apparent these days. Sorry, I backed away from the mic. Like it's just crazy though. Like doing a job that is dangerous, I learned how much people don't understand danger, you know, and how they don't respect it, and they don't respect like the loss of life that is possible, you know. And then when people realize I'm doing something that like I could literally die anytime, the way they look at you, they're like, wait, what? Like the mamba. And I tell people, like, no, if you get hit, you're going to die 100%. But then you still caught it? I'm like, yeah. You ever drove a car? You realize every time you get in your car, you might die? Yeah. People, it just doesn't click.
I still think it comes back to that fucking phone. That they're just so into that phone that they're not even in touch with reality.
Yeah, man. Oh, when I'm doing live demos with people, I'll have a crowd of people and I'm handling an alligator, and it almost like I've had almost get nailed in front of a crowd of people, and I look up and I'm like, that was close. And I look up and all I see is expressionless, man. Just holding their phone, expressionless.
Crazy.
And like they don't like, not there, man. It's so weird.
It's like dead.
Yeah, and I'll be like, guys, like that was for real. Like I almost got nailed, and they're just like,
they just want to film it so they could put it on Instagram.
So I put that in my lines. I say that now. Like, and I, guys, before I go and risk my life, don't hold your phone like this. Hold it like this. Be present, you bunch of millennials.
Don't do it landscape mode.
Yeah, and I tell people too. I'm like, I'm gonna risk my life for you, not your 12 followers on Instagram
that are all your friends from when you were 2.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. That's crazy, bro.
Go to Chris's main website. Go through the courses again, which I'm definitely going to book.
So the tours are...
Oh yeah. The tour is a big one.
Yeah, let's go over the tours,
bro. I just hope that I'm able to continue it. Like right now, we're getting some flack. They want to shut us down for public endangerment.
What?
Even though we've never had a single incident, we have a literal perfect safety record.
How close is that?
Oh, to being shut down?
Yeah.
Oh, they already did. They shut us down once, and we were shut down for like a couple of months, and then we were able to do like a loophole and like fix up this net and everything. So we've been doing that with the net for a while, and then just like literally a week ago, we're getting some trouble again, and we're trying to work it out and figure it out.
You think you'll be able to figure it out?
I'm sure hoping so, man. But I don't know. It's like my business is in the hands of people who don't even work with alligators. So like it's some scary stuff, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so hopefully we get to continue. So if you want to do it, bro, get in here now.
Yeah, we'll keep it going. We'll figure out a way.
Yeah. I hope so, because it's some scary stuff. Otherwise, I'm moving to Texas with Rogan. Oh, bro, he hates alligators, though.
Oh, yeah.
You saw that the other night?
Yeah, he said fuck alligators.
Bro. Like,
yeah, but he was just probably saying that from the news.
I guess.
We got Mike Tyson and we got Joe Rogan, so... Mike and Joe, if you're watching our show, come on, come check it out.
I know. Check it out. I had Andrew Scholes came and did it.
Really?
Yeah, he did the tour. Yeah, he had a good time. He took a selfie. I'm holding Casper on my shoulder like this, and Andrew's right there, and he took a selfie with us together and sent it to Rogan.
That's awesome.
So he came and did it, So, yeah, but I know he hates gators, so I doubt he'll,
Never know.
Yeah, but I just like the way he talks about predators. Every time he talks about predators, it's all so wrong. Like he loves animals too. You hear him and he loves talking about predators, and then he's so utterly, completely incorrect in how he's analyzing predator psychology. It makes me crazy.
He needs to have you on.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Believe me, you go on there, that fucking thing won't get closed. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. For real, bro. I wish, man.
We'll find a way. You got to keep that open, man.
Yeah. That sucks.
And the whole problem was, what are they saying? That you're endangering
public safety. Yeah. Which I'm like, my argument is always skydiving. You know how many people a year die skydiving? Because I looked it up.
I'm not fucking skydiving.
It's about a dozen people a year die skydiving. That's not counting how many people snap their legs backwards like a flamingo, how many people break their spine, never walk again, how many people break their arms, whatever. That's all perfectly acceptable risk if you sign a waiver. But my thing, nobody, like literally, we've never even had a stub toe. But if somebody lost their pinky finger, I'd be going to jail with a felony charge. It would be all over the news. They would lose their minds.
Public endangerment, people smoke cigarettes every day.
Like, bro,
they fucking drink alcohol. And
throw plastic all over the place.
What the fuck?
I know. And that's why, like, I'm seriously, like, considering moving to Texas. Because, like, they're a lot more free over there, I don't want to. I want to be here. Florida's my home. Florida's the best, like, wildlife, But, like, I don't know.
But,
but I think you got to start something, man. If they do that, like, start...
Yeah,
action,
making some
man.
noise. Yeah,
that's bullshit.
I know. Well, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. It's not dead yet.
Yeah. But
we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to work on it. But
yeah, see what happens.
Yeah. Well, it'll be all right.
Hope so.
We got Bob Lazar.
There you go.
He knows some aliens.
I know. Let's wrap this thing with some aliens, man. Not be depressing.
Yeah. So when do you think we will fully know that there's other life out there, that the government comes out and says I think the first way they'll tell us is like radio frequency. I think we'll hear something. I want to go to Chile. Is where the fuck I want to go.
Yeah, Atacama Desert.
Yeah, that's the best telescope in the world.
Yeah, dude, that would be super cool. Well, like Canadian government acknowledges the presence of aliens.
Yeah.
They openly acknowledge it. Like, no, this is factual. Other governments openly acknowledge it. Ours doesn't. Like, why? Maybe because they got stuff to hide.
I would think so.
That would be logical, right? So that's what makes me think like that's why they don't acknowledge it, because they got stuff they want to hide. Oh yeah, how do you know that? Oh, because you have this.
Well, just like Bob Lazar, there was no S4. No S4. No S4. No S4. 72. No S4. All of a sudden, what? 91? Oh, there's an S4. And then the what do you?
Too coincidental, man.
What's the thing on the
Element 115?
Element 115. There's no Element 115. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Now there's an Element 115.
Yep.
Oh, you tried to destroy everything about him. You forgot about a newspaper.
Yeah.
It's MIT newspaper.
It's so clear.
You kind of fucked up on that one.
Yeah, dude. It's so clear. Like, yeah. So I think the U.S. government.
And they were trying to kill him.
Yeah.
That's why he went on Rogan.
Yeah.
Because you know the guy that did the movie with him? I forget his name.
Jeremy Corbell?
Yeah. He was just on Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Recently, yeah.
Recently,
Did you see that?
Yeah.
They were really trying to fucking kill him. The only reason Bob went on Rogan was because he wanted it out there, tell his story. So if they killed him, like that was his speech.
Right.
And, he was having all his migraines and everything. And, Joe was like, no, he was really having migraines.
Yeah.
He didn't want to come on. And I'm telling you, I've messaged this guy 1,000 times. I bought 3 lights from him. I do. I have this light. I have a light in my house. I have a light in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he seems so genuine too,
Yeah.
But what do you think? I mean, I love that side. What do you think of Skinwalker Ranch? That is some weird.
That's some weird shit.
It's too fantastical. It's like it doesn't seem real because it's so fantastical. But then at the same time, there's so many stories of, like, I don't know. I just think like the more stuff I hear about it, the more I think it's like maybe there's like a dimensional portal there, and there's like some weird stuff that goes through, and maybe there are UFOs there because they're watching that, and like I don't know.
That one I don't know. I think it's one of 3 things. I think we're in dimensions, and things like you're living a life in another dimension. So is Rob. So am I, but we don't know it. You have deja vu. I always say this.
Yeah.
And you think. But you were never there, but you know it. You know the smell. You know the place. How does that happen?
Yeah.
To me, I say the 2 dimensions cross each other. The energy just hits at that wrong time for that 3 seconds where you have that deja vu. I don't know how else you could explain it.
Well, I mean, we know electrons are here, and then they're not here, and then they're here again. Where are they going? We know this is true.
It's energy.
Yeah.
Have to go somewhere.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know, but I know there's some stuff out there. That's for sure. And I think there's so much just like arrogance, so much hubris for us to be like, no, it's not real. It's like, no, just say that there is something that you don't understand. Like, you don't have to know what it is. Like UFOs, it's unidentified. We don't know what it is. Maybe it's not aliens. Like we were saying earlier, maybe it's time travelers. Maybe it's interdimensional movement. Maybe it's Earth number 116 that exists over there, and they're just visiting us to check it out. We have no idea.
Yeah, there's only 1 trillion galaxies, I think, that they just found.
It's crazy.
1 trillion galaxies.
Yeah.
Trillion. And you mean to tell me in 1 trillion galaxies that there's not one Earth-like planet?
Yeah. Oh, I think there's no doubt there's life out there.
There could be Earth-like planet in the Milky Way. We just can't see it because of all that damn dust.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess the arguable point is whether or not there's alien life that has visited our planet. Because without a doubt, it is out there. I think if you don't think that, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. But has it been here?
I think so.
I think so. I mean...
Well, you know what they killed Bob about? Because he said he walked by that window.
Yeah.
And he said, I saw something on the table. He didn't say I saw an alien.
Right.
He said I saw something little on a table that looked like an alien. He didn't say I saw an alien. And that's what they tried to discredit.
It could have been a model made to try to fit into the craft, It could have been...
it was so small.
Have you ever seen anything?
No. I wish I did.
Yeah. I've seen some weird stuff that I can't say what it was, but like I go out in the Everglades all night, we'll do all-nighters out there. And like one time I was out there and I mean, I've seen some weird stuff. One time we were out there on a road that goes to the very end in Everglades National Park. It goes to Flamingo Marina, whatever. We're out there at like 2 a.m. hunting pythons. And then we saw a limousine driving out to that point. Like a limo. Like, I mean, not alien wise. I just mean like weirdness wise. Like, what the heck is that? Like, why are you going out there at 2 a.m.? Like, there's some shady stuff going on for sure.
Dumping bodies or
picking up drugs or, whatever.
Something.
But, so on one of those though, I was out there and I saw this like big blue thing going across in the sky, and it was massive. I'm not saying it was UFO because I don't know. It was far away and it was huge and it was just going, and then it just was gone. Maybe it was a meteor. I don't know. It was too big. It was way too big. But that's the only thing that I've seen where I'm like, I have no idea what that was.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I definitely think they visited here. I definitely think we have craft. And those drones, I was dead set that those were drones until yesterday when there was a jetter. What do you call the fighter pilot?
Fighter pilot.
Like he does flips and shit. Goes up 6 down, not
G-force and all.
Yeah,
that.
G4.
yeah,
Like
talking about all that stuff.
Face is going back in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was in here yesterday, so of course I asked him as a pilot, and he was like, he thinks they're UFOs.
Yeah, well,
but I was dead set. I was dead set. It was military because they kept popping up right around military bases. You want to go through his the courses again?
Yeah, one more time. You got this tours, right?
Yep.
If you click on tours, they can book it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. It's right on there. Get it while it's here before it's gone.
And you got some photography on here.
Yeah.
We're on his Instagram page. What your Instagram page is? How can people find you? What's the name?
Gator Boys Chris.
Gator Boys Chris.
And then my TikTok is actually Gator Chris 1. I got 4.8 million on there.
Wow.
Yeah, which I can't even use it though. I'm one strike away from having my account deleted. Community guidelines violation, dangerous acts. Commie bastards, man.
Is that right?
Dude, I hate them. I
fucking hate TikTok too.
Dude, it's the biggest following I have. I can't even use it because I'm one strike away. Any video I do right now, one strike away, deletion.
I did a video on it was like NBA in China. Like everybody was dealing with China and John Cena and all that shit.
Yeah.
Put it on TikTok. 2 seconds later, boom, down.
Yep.
Anything. They got weird.
Bro, they flag all my stuff for dangerous acts, even though I'm literally like one of the leading experts in the world on this topic. But no, I'm not allowed to do my videos, right? 4.8 million followers on there.
Wow.
And the most open source, dirtiest platform that there is strikes you. I mean, they're the dirtiest one of them all. I'm a coder. I'm a coder by nature. It's like code shit on a computer. They're the dirtiest. When you go on there, they download your messages, everything.
Jeez.
Every time you log in there on your phone, it downloads your messages, your web history, everything. Now, they're not using it because they give a shit about you.
Mm-hmm.
They're using it to build robots.
Yeah.
Like real robots with conscience.
Yeah. AI stuff.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
I think they already have it.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I think they have robots with conscience that can feel, that know. And like we always talk about, I think very soon they'll be around. And what would you use them for? Military. Right?
Yeah.
So you would initially make them mean. Well, once that conscience evolves and they get smart, because it's a fucking computer.
Yeah.
So computers get smarter and smarter and smarter. You feed it more data. Wow. Now it knows it's a robot. And it's already it's mean because it's in the military. Then what?
Right.
You're either going to go with Elon and get that neurochip and hang with him.
It's the only way.
See ya.
Yeah, dude.
And that's the next evolution.
It is.
I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah, it'll be the have and have-nots.
I think it's 100%. If they don't get control of that robot shit, it's over.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about an asteroid.
That's true. I'm scared, dude. I don't know. I think China, too, like genetic engineering over there.
Yeah.
Like you have no regulation.
None.
If people are playing with CRISPR in their garages here, what do you think they're doing over there?
Yeah.
Superhuman, super intelligent. Like they're doing some freaky stuff.
They got caught. Didn't they get caught making a baby? Or they got
Yeah,
caught
they already
with some-
did that. They already altered a baby under the, what was it, like the precepts of it was supposed to be like for like some kind of disease, like AIDS research. I don't remember. Something like
but
that.
it didn't, though.
It was like that's what it was said to be about, and then it was something about altering like intelligence and stuff like just dude, they're doing some crazy stuff like that over there.
Yeah. No.
Real quick, and then we're going. You said I had it on my list here. Like I'm writing things down to ask you. Jurassic Park. Possible, you think, to recreate the dinosaur?
Oh my god, man!
Serious, you think?
So
Love it.
not with anything we got right now.
No?
Yeah, so the DNA is just too it's just not good enough, Now, mammoths, yes. We have found mammoths in the ice, that are frozen solid, and like that is recoverable stuff. I don't think anybody can do it right now. The way that they talk about mammoths right now is like, but I think in the future, like, yeah, they'll be able to clone mammoths, I think. I don't think dinosaurs. Not really. I mean, when you hear people talking about like actually trying to make one, it's like they're trying to like like regress a bird into dinosaurs, and it's like you're making like a monster. You're not making an actual dinosaur.
I don't know if that'd be a good idea, even if you could. I don't think that'd be a good idea for while we're here.
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean,
maybe for you.
Part of me is like, bro, let's go.
I'm hanging out with you.
part of me is like, let's do it. Let's go. But yeah, I mean, probably not a good idea. But
come join Chris with the T-Rex over here, and you get your picture taken.
if
keep your phones up, keep your phones up, everybody.
Hey, look, if there was a flip that I could switch, and I'd be like, I'm gonna make a T-Rex. I'm making a T-Rex
with long arms, though, right? Not short arms.
You know, one of the new research why they have short arms is so when they're fighting with each other, they don't get their arms ripped off.
Huh.
So yeah, it's a new theory on why they may have had these little short arms, because you're biting at each other so much, you get your arms ripped right off. So
is that the dinosaur that they just found, like the fossil fuels, maybe 2 or 3 months ago? And it was a dinosaur that, like, its arms were like literally like this. No, there was no other one like it.
No, T-Rex is T-Rex.
Nah, but I think this might have been like a
version,
like a different type of dinosaur. It's new. Like they never.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they had just found it, and it was huge, and it had tiny legs like this, and tiny arms, but huge from here up. It was like really weird.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find out. Text you.
Yeah, but I'm down for dinosaurs.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah,
man.
thank you so much for having me on.
Appreciate it.